I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma make, keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got $1 for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a 101. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Yeah, show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma make, keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family.
The voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.
saw that, I was like,
I had to rebuild my character,
"Oh."
man. I had to fucking tank.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the next podcast. And that is right, guys, you heard it. We were talking games behind the scenes. There is so much to talk about today. Today is our special DLC edition. Shout out to David Jaffe out there, putting ponies to sleep.
Downloadable content.
Putting ponies to sleep. Tell them go to sleep. Night, night. But yo, what is going on, chat? Great to see you guys. Yes, it is prime time on Thursday.
Our
And we are
DLC
live.
came back tonight.
What happened?
I said our DLC came back tonight.
Or DLC came. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dark is back
Oh, damn.
here.
Dang, man.
The otter.
Yeah, the gang
All that
is
slander.
the entire gang is here tonight for you guys. Let me get into the introductions. While I'm doing the introductions, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share the show out. Let people know that we are live right now. This is the place they need to be. DLC edition, next podcast. And I'm going to start with the man, K-Megas. He called his name. We're going to the West Coast. He is back tonight because he did not want to miss the DLC edition. It is the Angry Otter himself, Dark Optimus. What is up, bro?
What's up, man? PlayStation is the best, and Xbox has no games. Are the ponies gone yet? Oh, okay. Yeah, they're gonna fucking hate me tonight, dude.
Oh no! Oh no!
I may get that pony card revoked, man. I'm just.
Let's see if J Dub is watching. Maybe our brother Chris Hart might be in the chat at some point, or maybe his alternate.
His alter ego?
Yeah, his alter ego. Oh man!
I swear he's fucking Christopher Hart. I swear I can't.
Yo,
the way he writes and
the
everything.
more and more he writes in the chat, the more and more it's like, not for anything, but that looks familiar. Like, it really does.
Right?
Yeah,
it really does.
And it's funny because when Chris Hart started in the chat, I thought he was cool. You guys remember I made him a moderator. Just because he preferred one system over the other, or
Probably the
anything
worst
like that.
thing you've ever done, to be honest.
No.
He's like, no. There's
I've
worse
gone way
than
worse,
that.
dude. This show introduced Saltiest Gaming to the gaming community. This show did. Okay. Yeah. Do I need to say any more on that?
No,
not at all. Not at all, man. But Dark, it is good to have you back in here, man. I hope
sure, man.
I hope you did check out the topics. I hope
I did.
Entire
For
panel
sure.
checked out the topics. So this way they know what we're talking about. But let's move on to the next person. Coming live from the 405, and he is begging Windows to fix itself so he can finally use his soundboard again. Of course, it is K Mega. What is up, bro?
I think I don't know. I think I am gonna probably have to just do this whatever reset to get it back.
I know you're missing it, man. I know you're missing it. I hear it.
I have, and then I haven't. It is what it is. I mean, it'll come back. I probably will try to do the reset thing, but see if that causes more problems. Then, but yeah. No, other than that, everything's good. Still going through my Elden Ring hangover. Trying to get into playing some games, and I'm just kind of not in that phase right now. I'm just kind of like watching NBA playoffs and doing a couple things.
Bulls, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got lucky. They got a little bit. Got a little bit.
Well, the Bucks, their second star got hurt for at least 2 to 4 weeks. So that's
of course. Yeah, so
dude, I've been dying to talk to people about it.
I was watching I seen my Rams schedule coming in this week. Gonna be for next year. Gonna be serious.
Oh yeah, man.
Can't wait for the NBA draft. I mean, like I said, I've been all into sports and watching my news. Try to play a couple of things here and there, but I'm trying to get over this hangover. So hopefully, when Halo drops, we'll
I hope that
have
doesn't happen to
time.
me, man, because I finally
I put so much time in that game, man. I lost myself in that.
And I don't play games the way you do. I don't think, man.
Right.
I don't know. There are instances like Forza games,
16 days
Halos,
worth.
The Halos. Of course,
Yeah.
Destiny 2. Destiny 2. I'm like on 148 days in game on that.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But dude, they keep giving me content.
Multiplayer games is a different type of animal compared to a single player game.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference. So that's what I'm saying. Like I think really what it is that I'm jonesing to get back into the multiplayer game space. So that's what we're going to be doing.
Well, we're going to be talking about it, but beginning in May, you might have a game that you're going to have on heavy rotation. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. So let's go on. Next on the list, we can call him Mr. 8K from now on. That OnlyFans that he has, man. I guess his number one follower, his number one subscriber has really been putting it out there lately. Of course, I'm talking about our brother Predator. What is up, man?
I mean, OnlyFans been keeping me from gaming. I'm making too many videos and shit for Dark, man. Thanks, bro.
That's why
I gotta get an
now.
8K TV now.
You just got me that QN 900, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, thanks.
I know. I got to get one of those now too. Just so that you see the
so now my dick look delicious in 8K.
Now I do miss the sound effects.
Wow. Yeah. If you don't miss it any part of the week, Thursdays, K Mega is when you're like, damn, I need that. I need that. There's so much that needs to be said right now. I need my soundbar.
Good to have you back, Dark.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go, man. We got a lot of topics to get into tonight. Yeah. I guess we got to do Crispy real quick too.
That's what she said.
Get him out of the way.
Yeah. Next on the list, the panel member that lives closest to me. He's using his phone. I guarantee you, he's using his phone.
I had to with that one. I had to.
Yo, this man is the creator of hashtag Crispy Truth. Not only that, man, talk about a promoter for this show. He was on Twitter like, dude, what about our show? What's going on? You wanted something for me to put something out there, and then he plastered it all over the internet. That is right. It is my boy Crispy Bomb. What is up, bro?
Well, sometimes I have to do that when you're just like, oh yeah, this is cool, but screw the next podcast, okay?
Never that.
Bro,
you don't screw the next podcast. The next podcast screws you, okay?
Well, then there was the otter here, the angry otter.
Oh no. He sounds excited to have you on, Dark. I'm just saying, like
he does.
Yeah.
He's apparently giving his pony card in. I mean, come on, man. Oh, you're killing me, dude. Like that's not the way this goes. Okay, you got Netflix, you got Xbox, you got PlayStation. They all want to put ads in their shit. So how are they going to go about it? It's a completely neutral conversation if you are a neutral person.
Wow, Pred, that is illegal in the chat. I just want to let you know that, Pred. That is absolutely illegal in the chat, bro.
Let's get into it. Let's do it.
Yo, Crispy, I gotta ask, what's going on with your mic? You were crystal clear before. Did you do something to change it, or because you sound a little more?
Yeah, man. I start talking about that delicious.
Sounds like he's got his chicken
salivating.
It sounds like he's trying to put his pillow over his head, take himself out. Keep talking about these OnlyFans.
I think Dark just said that he is obsessed with Snickers bars. I think that's what he just said.
They're not veiny enough, though.
Oh man.
Oh.
Guys, on that note, definitely hit the like button. We are getting into it.
God.
We are getting into it, and I want to start.
Oh man.
I want to start with I guess basically, I guess you could call it an expansion that was announced today. A game that when it first came out, kind of like took Xbox by storm. It was day and date in Game Pass. It's a third-party game. It was a multi-plat, but went day and date in Game Pass. Got a lot of people excited. It is a game called Outriders. And Outriders is coming out with more content. I believe an expansion called World Slayer, where they're gonna have more story, a more evolving story. They're gonna have a revamp of the end game content. Of course, more levels, more gear, all that good stuff. Everything kind of thrown in there. K Mega, you said you checked this out, right? The information.
Yeah.
All right. So I remember when People Can Fly, when they came out with this game, they said, this is the game, and that's pretty much it. Because a lot of people thought it was going to be a game as a service, because the looter shooter. First off, I want to ask you, like, what do you think about this expansion that they're coming out with? But I also got to ask you, do you think like People Can Fly, and I believe the publisher Square Enix as well. Do you think that these guys kind of hit the business table, hit that office and was like, man, we have something here that we can kind of keep going to make money on. We got to keep doing that content and stuff like that. Do you think like they changed their mind on what Outriders was originally supposed to be, and to what they're doing now?
No, I think that was I think it was the plan all along. You just don't bring a game like that and not have any type of extra content for it, especially when you have a game that's got that type of that type of vibe that people can that want more from it. I don't know what was the whole reasoning to try to get people to feel like, well, this is it. We're going to just bring you this content and that's it. That could have been a turnoff to some people because, these people like to play these type of games that are continuous to some degree. And yeah, right. We'll be talking about another game and about content and things like that here going forward. But
my most played game is a game like that with Destiny 2.
Right. And, before I keep going, I do want to say this though. I forgot to say this in my intro because I was over here babbling. No. I just want to give a big shout out to Noof. I know his last episode was last night. I stopped by, said what's up. Oh, well, I said last night. It's the night before last. Because we was going to do Devin the Gamer at the same time that he popped up on his show, and then I just told Don, I was like, nah, let's show Noof some respect. His last show. I said let's just move Devin the Gamer until tomorrow night. And so, gave a big shout out. So big shout out to him, man. I hate the way that he how he felt about the game and things like that. And I totally understand that, and I understand life hit him, but what I'm saying, really enjoyed his content and stuff like that. Just wanted to show my respect to the bro. You know what I'm saying? We only worked together a few times, but big shout out to Noof.
Yeah, he's a huge friend to Next Podcast, myself as well. He's an awesome dude. Definitely don't want to see him walk away. But hopefully, Noof, if you're listening or if you check this out afterwards, hopefully you'll still do special guest appearances because you need to come on next with us, man. I'm just saying. But yeah, go ahead, K Mega. My bad.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to say that, but yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I think it looks really, really, really cool. Was watching some gameplay from it, and I posted something about it on Twitter today. So definitely, I'm really stoked for it. I enjoyed that game. I bought that game. I didn't wait for Game Pass. So now I'm going to come to a situation where people are going to look at it and like, oh man, because I don't think it's in Game Pass anymore. And so people probably going to have to pay double because this expansion is going to be, I think, on the Xbox $35, but I think it's normally $40. So it's going to be pretty expansive. So I'm just looking forward to it because they're going to do a lot of in-game life changes within the menu system, the way that you can enhance other things with the 2.0 that they added last year. And then on top of that, just this is going to be a full-fledged continuation of a different story that's going on within the universe. And I enjoyed the game. That was the one thing. Like, a lot of people trashed it, but I had so much fun playing that game. And then until at the point where when you got to the end game aspect, that's when you started to find some issues within the game because you could tell that it kind of fizzled out at that point. But if they're adding more content within the end game to make things more accessible, then that's going to even be a blast. And then looking at how they're adding more content within the stuff that you have, like they're already for your superpowers, they're already adding more powers to it. That's going to be really fun. So it's just going to give just another reason for the game to just come out and do that. I wish one of my favorite games ever, Anthem, would do that. And hopefully one day it'll come back.
What's an anthem? What's an anthem? I don't know. Everybody knows that.
You know what I'm saying?
I hate to say this, man, but I don't think it's ever coming back, bro.
I don't think it went. You know, I'm still holding hope. I'm still holding hope.
I think he's turning a corner on that. He's like,
I'm kind of in the middle of the street right now. I'm stepping out the other way, but I'm really still holding.
Really, without the loading times and shit, dude. Like that game was incredible, but
I'd say if it wasn't under
they didn't
EA,
support it.
If it wasn't under EA, I guarantee you it probably would have came back in some way somehow. But it's under EA, man.
It could be.
Who doesn't want to be Iron Man, bro? Like, come on.
It was a great game. But so I'm just gonna. So instead of me being an Iron Man, I'm gonna be a fireman. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be a pyro man because that's what my character was. I have worked on 2 characters, so I always was interested in the Titan character in Outriders, but the tank. Yeah, I'm really excited for the game. I enjoyed the hell out of it. So just bring me more content and I'll definitely come back. So I mean, it's not coming out until June 30th, but I'll already have that ready to go. And that hopefully that midnight when the game drops, and hopefully there'll be some people coming out there with me.
You said June 30th. Now I feel bad for them as if they are starting to become a game, that adds on content over time or anything like that, because that's only a couple days before Halo, and so I don't know. That's crazy. But
what you mean a couple of days before Halo?
Oh no, Halo's before that. My bad.
Yeah, that comes out. Yeah, that's just a few weeks away. Yeah,
no doubt. All right.
A week and a half.
Anybody else on the panel care about Outriders? Want to talk about this DLC?
Love Outriders. Outriders. I stopped.
You was trying to get this Halo stuff.
Outriders
Trying to cut this off.
dude.
I was talking about Halo.
No, I was reading the room.
I know he's trying to get closer to Halo, and I'm just like, bro, give it up. It's dead, bro. Come on,
don't push back. Don't push back. Yo, Crispy, what do you think about this DLC?
I'm gonna re-download Anthem right now.
Oh, why?
We talking about it. This game just got me excited.
Why are you gonna do
He's got a fucking boner now.
I do. You see a metal flying shaft just going down around.
Okay. Well, there goes 10 subscribers.
Are we talking about a fighting game or some shit?
Crispy!
Yes, sir.
Crispy,
Sorry.
Outriders.
I was
World Slayer. What's going on, man? Are you interested?
Dude,
why not?
I stopped playing it like almost a year ago, if not longer. I just stopped playing it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait for them to figure their shit out. And the game clearly has a following, or they wouldn't be giving you what you have right now. It's about to happen.
Great point.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a reason that this game has a following. And I'll tell you right now, I played Bulletstorm, man. That game was incredible from people who could fly. That's who did that game.
Yeah.
That entire game was done by them. So it's one of those things where I go and say, they know that they can do Gears. They're just trying to figure it out. And then you have superhuman powers. I was like, man, this is like crazy. But then all of a sudden I get the lag. I get a lot of shit, like all kinds of like bugs and stuff like that, where like I couldn't like progress because I didn't kill this certain boss a certain way, even though I killed them, and like some weird shit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. It's almost like Cyberpunk. I'm done with this for now. I'm just done. Okay? I'm not saying the game's bad. I couldn't continue to play it. What I'm saying is I feel like I could do better. And this is what, hey, you might get me to spend $40 on Outriders. You actually might do that because I enjoyed what I played. It just the other things that come on the backside, you're like, man, I'm not down for that. It's too much. Like, how am I like, digressing rather than progressing? And I'm like, what's going on here? So it's a little ridiculous, and that's why I stepped away. But at the same time, I'd pay $40. I paid like $180 for MK11 between like some of the things, and I could have spent 200 and something, if not like a Series S. Could have spent that. So I don't know. Like, it's up to the person, and if it's not on Game Pass, I think it's going to hurt them in the end.
Yeah, that's one thing we haven't heard. We haven't heard, when the game first came out, it dropped into Game Pass day and date. I haven't heard any mention of Game Pass this time around. Um, I do think it's interesting, as you stated, if there wasn't a fan base.
Square is the publisher. Like, Square Enix is the publisher. So let's think about how they're rolling at this point. They're all in with Sony, to be honest. So I mean, think about that. And it's not a fault to them or anything. I'm not trying to make it like something crazy. All I'm saying is that they roll with Sony before Microsoft, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Final Fantasy is a big deal. People think it's not, but it's a big deal. Okay? So you look at that and you say, they have games as a service in the bag already.
Mm.
This is what Sony's looking for. If Sony bought them, I would not be surprised at all.
Yeah, I think that. Wow. I didn't even think that would come up, but yeah, I think that would be more in their wheelhouse. Besides what I've seen, kind of like stated out there on social media in terms of acquisitions from Sony. But yeah. Uh, let's see. Yo, Pred, I know you played this game. You played this game as well. Uh, when it came down to it, are you excited for this expansion, World Slayer? Basically, more of everything, and I guess a more kind of like refined way of kind of like upgrading, better end game from what they're saying. Are you down for this, man?
Oh yeah, man. If you remember, I had Outriders at 100%, like within the first like what, a week, maybe less than that.
Something like that, dude. When you
Something
go
like
when you go in a game you like you just play that until it's done.
yeah, I beat it. Let's farm and like try to get all the achievements on it. But I mean, I knocked this one out. I remember everybody was like, "What the fuck, man? What did you do this weekend?" So I mean, I'm excited. I kind of like I kind of fell off when because after I got everything in the game, I'm like, okay, now what am I gonna do? I was just helping everybody else, and it's like, I think you get to level 50 or whatever, and you can go to that other world. That's the only thing I didn't do. I didn't do that last level, because every team I got in there with, like, they weren't powerful enough. I'm reviving everybody all the time, and I was like a tank build. But like, I mean, I'm interested in it. I mean, I'm glad. Again, this is the game. I use this terminology. This is the game that Xbox Game Pass built, because no one was talking about this game until it came into Game Pass, and we started playing it. The Xbox community started playing it, and then everybody's like, "Oh shit, this game's actually pretty good," and it got a lot of hype because it was in Game Pass. And so now they made an expansion for it, and I don't think it's going to be in Game Pass, but just I'm excited that it got some hype through Game Pass, and so much hype that they added more to it, because I don't think they were planning on doing anything else with the game at the time. They're just going to make the game. That's going to be the end of it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, the only thing they could add to this that I would be excited for would be crossplay, maybe with PC, or like I don't think they had that before. I could be wrong. I don't think it was in there before. With PlayStation 5, that would be great. But if that's not there, but I mean, I, I like this. It's like I think this game, if it actually gets to the keep in mind how Destiny started. I hate using that game because I know you love it, but like you didn't play
I
Destiny
didn't play
when it
Destiny
first came
1.
out.
I didn't play Destiny
Yeah,
1. No, I didn't.
and this could be on that same level at some point if it continues its success. Like I mean, it's almost built the exact same if you think about it. Like the like you get the DLC if they just had like raids and stuff like that in the game, which they kind of do. But I
Well,
mean,
it's Trials of some lady's name.
yeah,
For the end
I
game.
mean, but it could easily morph into that. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to get at, and it could be it almost now that I think about it, it almost has the same mindset as Destiny 1 did when it came out, and Destiny's morphed into what it is now. But
Well,
um,
Pred, with hanging on to that about what it can morph into and stuff. The interesting thing to me is when this game first came out, the developers were adamant that this was just the game. That's it. It's a looter shooter with all the content in the game. Like I hear you, and people like me were like, well, why would you do it that way? Why
why not?
not? Why not support it with
It's gonna work.
content moving forward?
Yeah, because people want it. I mean, they could have just made a sequel, which I mean, technically, this is just you want to look at it that way, it's an expansion. But I mean, like, this is the game that Godfall wanted to be. So
Oh,
just like something new, something fresh, something different, and then it just takes off. And like, and I love the game. I played that game religiously for the first month it came out. I was playing that game every fucking day. I was addicted to it. Not just finding better gear, getting my character built up, being able to help everybody else get through levels and stuff. I know I played with K Mega a couple of times. Like when we ran through some maps together, and other people were like, "Oh, I need help with this, need help with that." It was a fun game.
I was in
I
there
just wish there was
with you
more
a
to it.
couple times as well.
Yeah, I just wish there was a little bit more to it on the back end. Because once you beat everything and got everything you needed, like it was like now what, So I mean, but it had a lot more depth into it than I thought it was going to have when I first played it. So the fact that they were able to expand upon it, I think, and release some more content for it, I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, it's a different game. We get tired of playing the same shit, and it's a new franchise too, and it's got some promise. So I'm excited about. I'm definitely gonna play it.
Nice, bro. And I like stuff like this. You got people looking forward to Starfield that comes out at the end of the year. God of War, which the developers have reiterated that it is coming out this year on social media. So like stuff like this that you didn't expect. I love when this just kind of pops out of nowhere because it just shows that it's not just those main big development studios that are working on things. You got studios that made things with a lot of promise that are now coming in with more content, trying to build the player base again, which is really cool. I want to give a shout out to Level One Gaming. I saw you in the chat. Shout out to Fame Entertainment and that whole crew. I love checking their show out when I can. You guys are awesome. It's good to see you in the chat. Yo, I see Doggy Dog is back here. What is up, Doggy? Good to see you. And Fahim, what did Fahim say that I wanted to say? Fahim, no cyberpunk hate, bro. Cyberpunk is a great game. All right, I had a lot of fun playing through the story. I'm gonna play through it again as well. And now, Pred's gonna hate me when I say this, but I have the Series X, so I can actually see what that game has to offer on kind of like that higher graphical level with the more powerful system. But so I'm gonna go back into that. I don't think your cyberpunk hate is necessary, sir. Just saying. Yo, Dark, do you played Outriders too, right? If I remember correctly.
Absolutely.
So what do you think about this DLC? And do you think it's a change in what they were saying when they first came out with this game?
Yeah, dude. I mean, from the trailer alone, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely getting that day one. Um, it was. I mean, I liked the game. I mean, I even bought it. I bought it on PS5. And even though it was on Game Pass, I just, I don't know. I really enjoyed the game. I mean, I didn't. I know people had problems with it. I understand that they had their frustrations with it and stuff like that, and people didn't like the game, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was. I didn't think it was like the best game I ever played, but I also, I enjoyed what I played of it. Um, and this just looks like it's going to be more of Outriders. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm definitely down for that. I mean, it's been what, a year since I probably played it. I mean, what it came out last year, right? So yeah, it's been a year. Um, and then so it's coming what, June 30th, I think, the new DLC,
Yes, sir.
and it's what, 30, $40, 30, is it
$40.
30, is it 40,
Yeah.
40? Yeah,
Well,
I mean, that's fine.
it's discounted. I've seen it already.
Yeah,
I looked at it to see if I wanted to try to get it now, but it's 30. It's 35 on discount on Xbox. I don't know if it's discounted on PlayStation yet though.
I mean, even if it's not, I'm still gonna get it.
Right, right.
It's just one of those things. Like, if I see something that I want to play, I'm just gonna buy it. I don't really care. Um, I'm not like, Crispy, who's, touting how much, he spent on one game and then sitting here complaining about fucking $70 games.
Oh, that's $10 more, man. Come on, bro.
Oof.
It's but it's $10 more, bro. No, I mean, I get it. I'm just fucking with him. But yeah, I think it's definitely, from what I saw, it looked really good. I mean, I like the new little villain that they got going on there.
The chick with the tentacles, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I was like, oh, that kind of reminds me of something from like StarCraft, or something like
My OnlyFans.
your OnlyFans, or even
Bro,
Gears. Something from Gears. I think
tentacles.
kind of remind me of Gears a little bit. So I'm definitely stoked for it. Just want to know how long it's gonna be. Is it gonna be like 4 or 5 hours, or is it gonna be more than that? Is it gonna be more like, 10 or 11 hours? Like, I just want to know how long it's gonna be. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm still gonna play it and pay for it, but I just like to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
and by the way, don't talk bad about Godfall. Godfall was actually enjoyable.
Dude, I was gonna
Yeah,
say something about that.
don't talk bad about fucking Cyberpunk. If you
And,
haven't
and- and yeah,
fucking if you
Cyberpunk is
haven't
amazing, man.
if you haven't played it
I
with
love
the
that world, by the
update,
way.
if you have a PlayStation 5 and you played the PS4 version, of course that fucking game sucked on that fucking
Well,
console.
Dark, check
But if
this
you
out.
get the updated version on the PS5, it looks good. It looks really good, and it plays well enough for you to get through the story and play it. So, you know,
Well, Dark, I
but
feel bad. I feel bad for Fahim because, like, I know PlayStation is his preferred platform, but if he had somehow, some way, had an Xbox, and then he upgraded to the Series S or the Series X, he would have automatically gotten the upgrades for Cyberpunk without spending
yeah,
any
you would
money.
have
Like,
automatically got it.
yeah.
It was funny because, like, I actually got my money back on it, and then it was on sale for like $20, and I bought it. I was like, oh, I only spent $20 on it, and then I waited until the update to play it, and honestly, it's awesome. It's
Dude, that
it's
world is
it's
crazy.
it's freaking cool. It's definitely, like, there was moments in there where I was like, shit, man, I wish they would have. I wish. I love CD Projekt Red, and I hated to see where they went with Cyberpunk, but it it made me think to myself, like, damn, they should have just came out with this version of the game. Fuck the PlayStation 4,
Don't
fuck the
say that.
Xbox One version.
Pred bought the Xbox One, the Cyberpunk Xbox One, man. They promised for that
I know, I
generation.
know, I know, I know, I know. They had to live up to that, which is good on them to live up to that
I don't,
that deal. But
I don't know
shit,
if they
man.
did yet, actually. But anyway,
Well, yeah, that's true. I don't know. I really don't.
I
That's
don't
true.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
That's
yeah. But it's
slender.
just
Well, I mean, they sold
it just
18
sucks,
million
man.
even with all the
All the
chaos. I mean,
glitches and stuff.
right?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, that's
that's
when
true.
people
Yeah.
all the returns. So, I mean, just think about Think about that for a second. Like that's pretty.
I think most of
bananas.
those returns were just people who were playing it on a PlayStation. To be honest, I guarantee you
I'm sure there
on
was some
that one.
Xbox. There was some Xbox people though as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe
Yeah, there
because
are people
it did have its problems on Xbox, but I don't think anybody on PC really
Yo,
returned
look
that
at that
because it looked
ray
good on PC.
tracing, man. Oh
right.
my goodness. Yo,
Yeah.
guys, real
Cyberpunk.
quick. I got people in the chat asking me, and Pred again. Pred's gonna hate me for this, but they're asking me about my thoughts with now having an X in comparison to the Series S, and I'll tell you real quick, guys. Let me know if you want me to actually make a video on my channel and go into more detail. I'll touch on it briefly. Dude, the Series S is an incredible console, especially for the price, and when you look at it in terms of performance, it's great all the way around. You know, you get the faster downloads and everything like that. Um, I think the Series S, when it comes to graphics, I think it takes that next step, that next step graphically, but in a more traditional sense. Like everything looks good, everything looks new, everything in my opinion looks better than like on the Xbox One X or whatnot. And you're getting like the faster loads and stuff. The Series X just takes that and kicks it up to 11. I have gameplay of Hellblade right here. I went back in and started playing Hellblade, and I love playing these games on quality mode. And the quality mode on Hellblade has ray tracing, and the reflections in the water.
That's at 30 frames, right?
Yeah,
Right. 30.
yeah.
Yeah.
The reflections in the water and stuff, and as you can see, there are areas where it's just pretty much all water. That right there in and of itself, just it makes the game pop so much harder, so much it you just stop and you stare. It's kind of like when you first played it on the previous generation console and you're like, wow, they did all that. And but it's up to next gen standards. And I'm going in and I'm checking out Doom Eternal again because that's another one with ray tracing and such. And I just think it's a more refined experience. Again, taking nothing away from the Series S. You look at the price point and you see them on sale now for like $265, stuff like that. So less than $300, you're coming in with the lower load times, and in my opinion, still better games graphically and performance wise than the previous generation. There's really, I mean, that's a win-win right there. The Series X just takes it to that next level graphically, though, and I am having a blast with it. Just remembering, I'm like, oh man, yeah, no, that game has that and that and that. I gotta download that and start playing that, like stuff like that's kind of like the phase I'm in right now, and I'm going in. I'm definitely beating Hellblade, and I'm playing Elden Ring as well. K Mega, what's going on? I'm playing single player games here. Oh man,
I know you guys are turning into me, man.
that's
Shit.
crazy.
Well, no, I just went into a phase. Like I got phases like that. Like Don knows. Don knows. Like because normally we'll do some multiplayer streaming together on weekends. And he knows if I'm locked into a single player game because that's it. And he knows I'll be going for a while. So I have my moments, and I'll get back into my multiplayer, and I'll stay with them for about 6-7 months, and then I'm back to the single player games. That's why I don't, and that's why I'll jump back in. What'd you say?
He's always balls deep.
I mean, there's a lot of talk about male anatomy tonight. I don't understand this.
Real,
I mean,
for real.
I can understand this was GRG because we do have ladies on the show.
Ping
pong. It's a sausage fest here, fellas. I mean, we gotta.
Yo, Viper.
I mean,
real quick, Viper in the chat. He's talking about resolution and frames, and dude, I hear you on that in comparison with the Series S, Series X, and again, I absolutely love my Series S. All right, dude,
that's a good console.
I think it goes a little bit more than just the resolution and frame rate, though. Like you get all these little extra bells and whistles, with the Series X that just really fill out the experience and make it feel like that. When you buy like the most expensive like cell phone with all the bells and whistles on that, as opposed to like you might have gotten one that was a couple tiers below, and it was a really good phone, but just the extra bells and whistles and stuff really kind of just flesh out your experience. Now I will say for people who just get an Xbox, you gotta give the dashboard a little bit of time. And this is something that I learned because when I first started the Series X, I was like, wow, the dashboard is not as responsive as the Series S. And then somebody pointed something out to me, which is absolutely true. When you get a new Xbox with it's a brand new system, it's got to kind of learn what apps and what games you are playing frequently, and it'll literally speed up getting into those for you. So you basically, when you get a new system, you have a blank slate. So I was like, it was taking an extra, few seconds for this game or this app to run, and it just takes a little bit of time for it to learn. Oh, you keep on opening this app, and then it starts popping up quicker and quicker. I don't know if you guys noticed that on the panel at all, but it literally kind of learns your tendencies, and it kind of creates like a fast lane to the games and to the apps that you play and use the most.
No, we all have Series X's from the start. We have to
Oh
come
my
from that.
goodness! You know what? I'm
Right.
done. Yeah, I don't
got
want to go
my
into detail,
Series S
but
later. So,
yeah. If you guys want me to make a video on this channel, just let me know, and I'll go into more detail about my experience between the two, and let you guys know exactly what I think about those. But I think it's time to move on to the next topic, and this topic, man, it was a fire on social media. The creator of God of War decided he was going to talk about God of War Ragnarok, and his opinions on God of War Ragnarok really triggered a lot of people. Even to the point where he got invited on a live show, and he actually took the invitation, which I'm really surprised about. And the people on this podcast tried, basically just yelling and screaming at him, telling him how his opinions are wrong, and he literally made a video that showed what his opinions were for the PlayStation games, because these are PlayStation extremists that invited him on the show. And the thing that they got pissed off about was when he was talking about Thor Ragnarok, he said basically it's DLC. All right. It's basically downloaded content
Did you
for.
say Thor Ragnarok?
Oh, did I say
I
Thor
think he
Ragnarok?
did say Thor
Yeah.
Ragnarok.
God of War
Oh,
Ragnarok.
man.
All right. Well,
Oh,
you can tell.
man.
You can tell I don't have a
It's
PlayStation right now.
it's Love and Thunder now, bro.
It's Love and Thunder. Yeah, dude, I'm late.
Yeah.
But when it comes to
He's
God of War
late to
Ragnarok,
the party.
it is DLC for God of War 2018. Now, with him saying that, he even went further and he was like, which is not saying that is bad. It is more of what he loved from the game anyway. So he wasn't like throwing it under a bus or anything like that. He was just basically saying it's more of the same thing that you were getting from God of War 2018. I will take it a step further. When I heard DLC when it comes to a first party game, it reminded me of PS5's launch. All right. And so many people were saying things like, how did Insomniac get Miles Morales out so quickly? And stuff like that. What I want to let you guys know is what Sony did, which was genius. It was genius for what they were doing to create a launch lineup for the PS5. They were literally using assets straight from Spider-Man PS4 and then modifying them into a game. All right. Miles Morales, I believe, was first slated as DLC. This is a special DLC edition. It was slated as DLC, but they grew it out more. They were literally using PS4 assets and they upgraded them to this generation. So for people that are like, oh, they built it from the ground up and stuff like that, that is not what they did. The foundation of Spider-Man Miles Morales is inherently Spider-Man PS4. All right, that's how they got games like that out so quickly. quick turnaround and stuff because they already had the things built. They just had to change like the suit. They just had to add a couple powers to make it, actually Miles Morales. But they didn't build that whole thing from the ground up. All right, it started as DLC, and they used a PS4 game as the blueprint with the assets to make that. But let's see. Let's go to Predator. Pred, have you been in the know when it comes to David Jaffe and what's been going on with his DLC comment when it comes to God of War?
I listened to his, I guess, reaction response. I don't know if it was before or after he went on the show. What are you laughing at?
No, because his reaction was amazing because he was putting in the where he was on the live show and they were talking shit, and then he was actually putting his opinion that he had recorded on his YouTube channel about these
Oh, yeah.
games. It was hilarious.
So he was trying to say, like, when I guess his response was like the God of War 2 is what he used as an example. There was different mechanics in there when it came out from the previous God of War. This is like the old school God of War. And so and he's like, this is why the game doesn't feel different to me because it looks like it's the same game. Like I kind of get where he's coming from. And he's like, he was like, I'm gonna play it, So I don't see what the hoopla was about. But I mean, when I played God of War, I got the sense that and I think they even admitted this somewhere. I think I saw an article on this before, where like they had mentioned that they had more planned for the game, and they actually had DLC planned for it. And then they pulled back and they decided to go through and just make another. Because if you play the game, there's that map table that you go to. There's areas on the map you can't go to.
Right.
And when I saw that, I was thought like, man, there should. They must
pointed that out on next podcast at one point.
Yeah, I pointed that a long time ago when the game came out. I was like, there's something missing. Maybe they're gonna do DLC because it looks like there's other areas you can go to, and then it never came out. Because I always felt like, man, why would they even put this here if we can't even go there? Why would they even show it? Like why tease us like that? And it's like they're probably gonna put something in, and they never did. So, so I think what you were saying is absolutely correct. They're probably gonna reuse those assets, which is fine. I mean, they do it all the time with games. They take the same assets and kind of build upon it, which is nothing wrong with that. I think people just kind of took his opinion out of context, as if they're not going to play it because he called it DLC or an expansion. It's the same fucking thing. So like, I mean, I guess like with DLC, you kind of typically expect it to come out like, several months after, not like, when did God of War come out? Like 4 years ago, right? Like, so like you expect it to come out a little sooner. So like, I think people just took a play on his word and just took it personal. I mean, I don't have a problem with it being DLC and expansion, whatever. I mean, if I had a PlayStation 5, I'd play the fuck out of this game because I loved God of War when it came out. So I mean, get your panties out your ass, guys. Like, this is not that serious.
Dude, what do you think about the reaction? You saw? I think
that's what I'm saying. Like the reaction
humor.
people were having is like stupid. It's like
this dude created pretty much the biggest franchise on PlayStation, and they got him onto their live show to scream at him. Like,
yeah, that's not really professional.
Yo.
As if I'm the most professional person either. But like, if I had someone like that on my show, I'd pay him the respect that's owed to him. Real. I wouldn't be cursing him and screaming at him. But guess who's never going on that show again? David Jaffe.
Oh man!
I almost guarantee that motherfucker will never go on that show again. He's probably talking shit right now. I can't believe I went on that show.
Dude, they might have ruined it for other kind of like smaller shows as well.
Yeah,
if you think about it.
I don't remember what podcast that was. He went on. You don't have to say it out loud. Someone will probably say it in chat.
I don't know. It's King Thrash's show or something.
Oh well, what do you expect?
Dude, that's why I was surprised he even said yeah, he'd go on. Like, that's like Colin Moriarty ending up on Saltiest Gaming like YouTube channel. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It is what it is, but yeah,
I don't know. Let's
know what you're getting into on the show.
Let's get Crispy involved in this. Crispy, I know you've had to see what was going on with David Jaffe this week. Am I right, bro?
Yeah, I really don't care though.
Not at all. It doesn't do anything for you. whatsoever.
Well, I think it's dumb all around. Like, he's calling out people that are talking shit about him, and it's just a bunch of dumbness all around. At this point, like, the dude created a game that you are arguing about. Why are you doing it? Why are you arguing about it? This dude created God of War. Get
Yeah,
your head out of your ass.
without him, there would be no God of War. There would be no Cory Balrog working
Exactly.
on this. There'd be none of that.
Exactly. And that's where I'm like, well, deal with it. Like, if somebody called him out, deal with it. Like, take it on the chin. Say, hey, I was dumb. Why did I do that? But most people can't do that anymore. It's more or less, I'm going to cower away and just act like it didn't happen. Well, you know what? You could do that. But I'll tell you something right now. That doesn't make people look to you and say, hey, that's somebody I want to look up to. A fucking coward. Get the fuck out of here.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah, nah, it was kind of crazy. Hopefully, if David Jaffe ever checks out this show, bro, feel free to come and hang out with us at some point in time, man. I guarantee we will pick your brain about the topics throughout the week, and we're not going to yell at you much. Pred might convince you that you have to subscribe to his OnlyFans, but I think that's pretty much it.
It's always the best bet.
And we got Dark promoting it as well. If we ever get David Jaffe, would you be on Dark? Would you make sure you're
Oh
on
yeah.
for that one? Yeah.
Oh, for sure, dude. Oh, I would be there in a heartbeat. I couldn't wait.
Well, Dark, what do you think about this whole thing and the whole kind of like DLC comment? Like, I feel that when it comes down to PlayStation and their first party, I think it's kind of the key to them getting games out quickly. You saw it with Miles Morales. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but it's just facts. That's exactly what they did to get like Miles Morales out. And I wouldn't be surprised that when it came down to it, Ratchet and Clank was pretty much assets upgraded from that soft reboot that they did of Ratchet and Clank as well. So what do you think about the DLC comment and kind of like the reaction out there? What Jaffe said, man.
It's funny that people want it to bother me for some reason.
You're supposed to be
But
mad,
it
sir.
doesn't.
You're supposed to be
I'm
mad.
supposed to be mad. I'm supposed to be like sitting there yelling at my TV of what he said. Um, it didn't. Honestly, it didn't phase me. Then I listened to Thrash's um podcast or whatever. I don't think it's his. He says it's not his. It's everybody's that's on the panel.
Well,
I
I
don't know.
say
He's
that
got
too,
some.
but no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think that's why he calls it the round table because it's everybody's there's no head of the table there, which is fine, whatever. Um, I just think that I think Jaffe was, you know, he just wanted to address it. I think he did. I don't necessarily agree or disagree with some of the things he was saying. Um, I mean, I agree with him saying, certain things about, people's interpretation of certain things of DLC and things like that. And then, I also don't agree that it looked like DLC. I mean, let's just look at pretty much every game that's come out from PlayStation. They all kind of use assets from other games that they've made in the past. Um, Even Xbox has done that in the past too. I mean, I don't know what they're doing with. I mean, look at Bethesda. Bethesda does it all the time. They use assets from their games all the time, and but yeah, I don't know. Like Oblivion from Skyrim looked, completely new game. Of course, but I think we're at that point in a in a gaming aspect where graphics and gameplay, like there's only so much you can do with a controller, man. Like honestly, I mean, if the game went straight to PC, you have so many other keys, so many other buttons to press. Like there would be so much more things that they could probably do with that game. Um, because there's so many, different things that PCs can do. But I don't understand why it's such an upsetting thing when somebody says what what Jeffy said. I don't understand why it's so upsetting to people. I mean, really would like to understand. I just don't. To me, it sounds like they were just like, I don't know. I don't know, dude. Like honestly, even listening to the show, I was like, I don't understand why so many people are so upset, or so many people on that panel were so upset about it. Like, I get that you're passionate about gaming and you love gaming and you love, that stuff, but I don't think it's to that point where you need to freak out about it.
I mean, they act like Jaffe talks shit about their
There
mom or
was
something, man. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it was pretty bad, dude. It was pretty bad. I was like, Jesus
Disrespectful, bro.
Christ. I was like, dude, I honestly, I don't think I've ever gotten that mad. Like, I mean, I may have gotten mad at Crispy a couple times, but never to that
Dude,
extent.
nobody
Like,
gets mad at Crispy. What are you talking about?
dude, what are you talking about, man? Everybody gets mad at him. I don't know, man. I think that whole thing was just, I don't know. I don't know why. Honestly, I don't even know why Jaffe even did it. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess he thought that maybe he would, be able to get the words that he wanted to say out, and
Well,
I think he did a good enough
he ended
job
up
to
doing
to
that
say
at
what
one
he.
point. He ended up doing that at one point.
Yeah,
Like
I think he
he shut him
he did.
down.
Yeah, he definitely shut, certain people down on that show, and I think, I just think that people are just so way too into this, like, console versus console, um this whole, like, I'm whatever's going on at PlayStation is the best, and this and that and the other thing, and they're just like, they're so, like, hyped for God of War, and they're just like, they can't wait to play it, and I don't know, man. It's just fucking weird, dude. I don't know, man. Like, and I consider myself, you know pretty much a PlayStation dude. Like, I play on PlayStation mostly. Um, and even I was like, really? Like, is it really that bad that what Jeffy said? Like, I don't even give a fuck what Jeffy says half the time. Like, I don't even give a fuck what anybody says. To be honest, like, anybody in the media, I don't give a shit. Like, if Greg Miller said that, I'd probably be like, oh, okay, whatever. That's his opinion. Like, I don't care. I don't care about other people's opinions, man. To be honest, like, that's the problem. I think a lot of people just care about other people's opinions, and that's you probably shouldn't, because people are always going to have different opinions than
I don't,
you. And
yo, Dark. I don't think they necessarily care in other opinions. Like, oh, you need to like this. I think they
uh
care about other opinions. Is if you don't like it, or if you're about to say something that won't put PlayStation in the greatest light, then it's garbage. Is what's going on there.
yeah, I see, that's where I don't understand that, because they talk about, it's funny because I hear PlayStation fanboys talk about how much they want people to say, to call out Xbox on stuff, but yet, or they don't, they want to sit there and say, oh, well, you need to call these companies out when they're doing things that you don't want them to do, and do things that doing this and doing that, but yet they don't have the audacity to go and do the same thing
Hmm.
to Sony, even though they've said in the past, like, oh, I would tell Sony if I didn't like something. Will you though? Will you?
Well,
And I
no,
see it on both sides though, dude. I see
yeah.
it on both sides though. I see it on the Xbox side where people do that shit too, and the PlayStation side and the Nintendo side. Even PC guys, I see them doing that shit. I'm just like, uh, that's why I always try to keep like on Twitter, anything that I do, I just try to keep it more about the games than it is about the console stuff. I mean, yeah, I'll get on Twitter, I'll mess with K Mega, but I feel like, I can do that because I feel like we're brothers, like we've been podcasting for a long time. If K Mega ever came to me and was like, dude, what the fuck, man? I'd be like, and you've done that to me, dude. You've gone, what the fuck, bro? I'm just like, okay, yeah, you're right. I gotta backpedal. My bad, bro. And we all do that. It's all something that we do because we're just, we're just humans. And we do stupid shit sometimes. This is understandable. Um, and and I see Fahim saying, Optimus is a trailer though.
No,
Exactly.
a
Exactly.
trailer or a trader?
No,
It's a
trailer.
trailer.
It's a
No, a
trailer.
trailer.
Oh,
It's a trailer
oh,
though.
oh. I
E-
thought.
e-
Oh,
Do you guys?
okay.
exactly.
I
Do
thought
you
he was
guys
calling you a
It's
really?
just
trader.
a fucking trailer.
Do you
That's
guys
the
think
problem.
that
It's
Jaffe has
just a
not
trailer.
seen more of this game than we have? Think about
Oh,
that.
I'm sure he has. I'm sure he has. But he was speaking specifically on the trailer, and they were like, "Well, you're analyzing the game at that." I'm like, "No, you're not." Like, you know what I would have brought up? I would have brought up, well, didn't Thrash say he's analyzing Forza 5 and not
Oh,
reviewing Forza 5?
volcanoing.
Like I would have brought that shit up, but he would have, of course, Jaffe took a higher road and tried to explain to them like, this is just my opinion on the trailer. This is how I feel about the trailer. This is what the trailer looks to me as DLC. And I watched his video and he explains it that this is how he feels about about that trailer. That's all he was analyzing. Like, I'm sure he's seen the game. I'm sure he has talked to not Corey, because Corey's not even,
Yeah, he's
I
not.
mean,
He's not
Corey's
doing
kind of involved. He's kind of involved, but he's not like fully involved in the game. I think it's like Aaron or Eric, or I think it's Eric something. Can't remember his last name, but yeah, he's doing it, and I'm sure he's getting, I'm sure he's probably gone to Jaffe and said, hey, you got a few pointers on what we can do with this game. I mean, and plus that trailer is old too, right? Wasn't it like it was from last year's PlayStation
Is
thing
it
that
the
they
same?
had?
Is it the same trailer that they put the year 2021 on the end?
I think I think it no that trailer was the first trailer that they ever showed, but it was like a teaser
Oh, it was
trailer.
just a teaser. It was just the
This
logo, right?
Yeah, this one
Okay.
was more was the one that they showed last year during their PlayStation like little what's coming, like their E3 kind of thing
Okay.
that they did, and it just didn't I mean, I was like, "Oh, that's cool. God of War Ragnarok's coming." I don't get hyped for that kind of stuff. I'm just like, I want it in my hands, dude, before I'm hyped for it. Like I want to know the exact date when it's coming out. Okay, I'm good. I can wait, and then once that month comes around where that game starts to come in, or it starts to come out, it's about to come out like in 2 weeks, 3 weeks or a month or so. That's when I get hyped. That's when I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait for this game, because I have so much other shit to play. Like I feel like some of these guys don't have other shit to play, and that's why they're like doing this kind of thing or doing certain things like that. I mean, to each their own,
Well,
but
they're all
to
done.
me,
They're all done with Horizon, Forbidden West, and uh, I guess they're all done with GT7 as well, which is kind of weird. But you know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause that game's supposed to keep going.
I mean, who knows, man? I don't get it personally, but those guys, they want to say what they want to say.
I got you,
It's up
bro.
to
I
them.
got you. And there's something I
Freedom of
do.
speech, man. Like that's the thing, is like freedom of speech here on this platform. People can, they should be able to, say what, not necessarily say anything that they want, but say, you know, give their opinion out on things that they like or don't like.
Yeah, I got you, man. And I do want to put out a little something. When it comes to David Jaffe, I'm not ignoring the fact that he kind of likes drama. Like he gets into it with
Mhm.
people. He does kind of like,
He
you
even
know.
said it on the show, on that show, dude. He said he likes drama. He said he was like, I like the back and forth, guys like it. So he was there for that shit, you know, himself.
Yeah. So when it comes down to it, it's not like, you know, uh he wasn't gonna enjoy kind of like going back at them or whatnot. But my whole thing is like you're talking to the creator of this franchise, and then you're telling him that every single opinion he has had from every PlayStation first party game to drop recently was absolutely wrong. And yo, shout out to Jaffe for making a video afterwards, kind of taking what they said from the show and then pulling like his opinions from his
And I've
YouTube
seen those
channel.
videos.
Yeah,
I've seen those videos,
and
and
showing
I've seen him
exactly
say
what he
what he said
said.
about those games. Yeah,
It's
he's actually said, "Oh yeah, I really like this game, but these are the problems I have with it."
so
I mean,
developers fix
that's
that shit basically.
yeah, like we all have that, you know. Like, don't try to act like you don't have that shit where you're like, "Oh yeah, I really love this game and I have no problems with it." Bullshit, dude. You have something with it. There's a problem with some games, like Horizon Forbidden West. I have a problem with it, and it's not a big problem. It's just it looks like shit. Like it
Oh
does.
shit.
Like resolution wise, it looks like shit. Like 60 frames per second is great. It looks good. Like that, the frame rate, but the resolution looks like shit. I know. I think they updated it. I haven't gone back and seen it, but you know, it in the beginning, it looked like shit. So
Okay.
and I think that was a recent update too. So.
All right, I got you, bro. Let's get K Mega involved in this real quick because I'm interested to hear what he has to say. Now, Mega, I know you've seen this whole thing kind of like unfold out there on Twitter. Uh, King Thrash, Sick Humor. Um, I think it's kind of funny how Sick Humor got put to bed on that show when Jaffe just came out and is like, oh, let's put our bodies of work against each other because I know I created a AAA iconic franchise. What have you done in the gaming industry? Let's put our bodies of work together and compare that. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. But Mega, what do you think about the reaction here? What do you think about what Jaffe said with the whole DLC thing? I feel like he stepped himself back a little bit when he was like, well, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like when I saw the trailer for this God of War, I mean it did look exactly like Jaffe said, more of the same thing. So I don't know. What are your thoughts, bro?
I I mean, look, it's when people have to clarify themselves over and over again, even when they give their take and others don't, it's one of those things where you kind of look at it as like, you know what, I shouldn't have to try to make people understand my point of view if others just aren't going to do it, and that's exactly what happened. Like he kept trying to say that, look, he gave his opinion on it with the whole DLC thing, but he kept clarifying that, look, there's nothing wrong. I can't wait to play the game. I loved it. I think what Cory Barlog and Santa Monica has done with the game is just, I mean, he kept praise after praise after praise after praise after what he was saying. And people still tried to take the narrative of he's disrespecting the game. We see that too many times from the PlayStation stands. It is absolutely ridiculous. I say, and it's almost like clockwork. I could say this numerous times. If I'm going to say something negative about PlayStation, I'm always going to usually say, look, I love PlayStation. I've been a supporter of PlayStation from day one. Before some of these hush puppies out here come out here and start playing a PlayStation 3 or 4 and think they know everything about gaming, you know what I'm saying? Or know everything about PlayStation. It's crazy to me, right? But it doesn't matter because the only thing that they hear is whatever that I'm talking about that is quote unquote negative about PlayStation, and that to them is all they don't want to hear it. They don't listen. I mean, it's it's crazy to me. Like, I mean, but these same people that go after people, disrespect them, call them names, say all these other crazy things, the first thing that they do is want to give their opinions and be as disrespectful as they want to, and then tell you have a right to be that way. And so it's embarrassing for one, because I've been on that podcast.
You've been on Roundtable?
Yeah, I was on there, and dude was, what was crazy was that like I was I guess humor didn't want to I guess Thrash told him, no, just let's just be cool, let's not trip out or whatever. I don't know what the hell was going on, but I was saying the things that I was saying, talking about talking about Xbox in a positive light, and then next thing you know, I started getting yelled at. And then I got called, I kept getting stupid, or how stupid I was. And so I asked the question, look, bro, is the SSD on the PlayStation 5, and granted, this is before the PlayStation 5 and the Series X came out, but it was in the same year. And I said, so is the SSDs for the PlayStation 5 going to be, it's going to propel the PlayStation 5 to be more powerful? Then I was still called stupid and dumb and I'm ignorant and all this other crazy stuff. And then I said, man, just answer the question. Eventually he answered the question and said, yes. So once we found out that is false, which I knew it was false, I just wanted him to put it on record, put it on air that he was false. I just wanted to just kind of elaborate, saying that the SSDs had nothing to do with the power of their console. It's all about speed. I mean, there's this thing is, it might do some enhancements in other ways, but it's not going to be comparable of anything of what the Series X is going to be when we going by the paper conversation. And I guess I got blocked because I haven't seen or anything else from bro. But
you got
cool.
blocked from Secure?
I think. I mean, I don't ever
wish.
see anything from bro.
Dude,
but
you got a
regardless of
blessing
that,
right there, bro.
well, it's I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing of it is to me is that look, I was saying before we started the show, like somebody told me yesterday that when I get challenged, I run away. I wouldn't be called the most defiant by Z and others out there if I was running away from being challenged. As you can tell, I speak my mind. I don't hold my tongue. I don't give two damns if you like it or not. I still try to be respectful, and that's the part to me that makes it embarrassing, is because that man's accomplishments should still be looked at as in a look of, you got to give the man this respect, because like you said earlier, and I was going to say the same thing, this man created one of your most beloved PlayStation icons and PlayStation games. And just alone, and it's not only just one, but it's two, because Twisted Metal's another one. And all the other work that he's done for PlayStation. What's the one?
I'm sorry. I'm watching Bot play this fucking Elden Ring.
I wanted to show my death. I wanted to show that I did.
Oh man,
I was paying attention to it. I need to be looking. I was.
It's funny.
Are you saying I should stream this? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, so
yeah. And
please.
By the way, you could hit those fucking those
with the flame.
Those things that shoot that shoot fire, bro.
Yeah. No, I know that now.
Yeah. He's going to learn. This is first Souls game.
I
was looking pretty stupid too when I was first playing.
I don't just put the best clips, man. I try to put the most entertaining clips. So guess what, Dark? You're showing that I'm doing it right now, man.
So
yeah, man, you are doing it right. I'll tell you, you're learning. So
that's how you learn. And them imps are hell on wheels. But that's the most embarrassing thing of it. It's just like, okay, so like for instance, I'm trying to think of somebody from. Okay, so like, the guy that's taking over for Halo, which we're going to get into Halo here in a little bit, to take over. I don't agree with some of his methods. If we've ever had an opportunity to talk to him, on a podcast or anything, I respect for the work that he's done, but I'll ask certain questions on on this, how he feel about this and the situations with Crackdown and how
and get down to the reasoning behind.
Get down to the reasoning about it before I sit there and turn into some kind of emotional fool, because that's all that was. It was a complete jackass to sit here and yell at this man. You yelling at a grown ass man. Like I'm like, bro, like, because like I said, he did the same thing to me, and I'm sitting here like, bro, what's all this yelling for? I said, bro, yeah, like, I mean, like, I know that you post, because I used to see his posts and stuff. I guess, internet gangster, whatever, maybe real guy, I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? But I know, I don't give a damn who you are. You ain't gonna be yelling in my face personally. This type of interaction ain't gonna be happening face to face. Regardless, I don't give a damn how much of a badass you are. So again, you're talking to another grown ass man. There's no, I'm going to respect your space, your ears, just like you should respect mine. And so therefore, there shouldn't be no reason for no yelling when we're talking about video games. And I just can't understand, like, this man sit here and said he has no love for PlayStation, no love for this, but he gave PlayStation one of the biggest icons that PlayStation's ever had. He gave PlayStation an identity because people only kind of knew Gran Turismo, Crash Bandicoot. You see what I'm saying? And PlayStation had all these other games under their umbrella, but that was the one thing about, like, everybody knows what Nintendo has, everybody knows what Xbox has. PlayStation at that time when they first came out, people kind of trying to find out what their identity was. They brought out a lot of hot ass games, but then when God of War was one of those games that got dropped on us, and then with Twisted Metal and just like yo, now this is what's up. So just for that, man should get his respect and not be told that he's some kind of PlayStation hater for it. But that's again, it was really crazy though, because I was looking more into the situation because I thought it was funny overall, and I seen the same video that you seen with him, where Jaffe was explaining, he was showing his love for all the other games, from Ghost of Tsushima to, The Last of Us 2,
yeah,
so
he
forth.
loves Ghost of Tsushima, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, and I do too. Like that to me is a PlayStation banger right there. That game is hot.
Oh, for sure, dude. I think honestly that game is probably one of their best games. Period.
That's one of their best games, no doubt. In the last, I'm not the biggest Last of Us fan, so for me, it's last probably 15, 20 years. For real. That Ghost of Tsushima is a beast. But I just think personally, it's like, you just like, okay, so you go this route, you do this, and again, Jaffe, he goes on all types of podcasts, because I know he's done some stuff with Z and some other people like that. From clips that I've seen from just off of just social media when I've just seen it or whatever, and I'm like, that's cool. Like, the man's going out there doing that, but like you said earlier, this hurts other people who just want to have a conversation, just want to ask him about certain things, and he might still come on because, like I said, he likes that type of I guess style or that aggression. But to me, it's the thing that will push away other developers that's looking like a Corey Barrow would be like, shit, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. So,
nah, bro.
no, it's just, and that's the thing to me that bothers me more than anything, is that within the PlayStation Stand community, not the PlayStation fan, the Stand though community, is that they get so riled up about, they always got to find an enemy. If this is kind of like with politics. I'm not going to go too deep with that, but if you're such in a better place than everybody, if you're so enlightened, if things are so good, if this is what this, if PlayStation is where if everybody wants a PlayStation in their home, why are you always mad about shit? That don't bother me. It confuses me. Why is it there's always something wrong? Why would you care about what the competition's doing? Why would you care about Game Pass? Why would you care about Starfield? Why would you care about Halo? Why would you care about anything that's on Xbox or Nintendo? Why would you care about the Breath of the Wild? Why would you care about anything if everything on PlayStation is rainbows, happy goats with whatever and lollipops and ice cream? Why are you so angry? Why are they so mad?
Damn, now
And why do they feel I know. Why do they feel obligated to always, when somebody says something positive about any other platform, that there has to be a stand that comes in and tells you, well, this is why it's not good.
Bro,
And this is why PlayStation
you bring
is
that
good.
up. You bring that up, and they're getting mad over this whole DLC thing. Dude,
Yeah.
how many people on social media, how many of these extremists, whenever I share a screenshot of Forza Horizon 5, are saying
Mhm.
that it's just DLC for
Right.
Forza Horizon 4? Not
Right.
even thinking
That's
about
it.
the revamped multiplayer, of course, the different world, all the different stories that they have. Like, and I don't think they've done their research on this. That they have these
No.
little stories where, you know, the stuntman stuff, the social media stuff,
Yeah.
where you're doing a series of races, but it's telling a little story. It gives you information about Mexico, you know, about the map, like about the history of Mexico, stuff like that. There is a bunch in there that's new
Mhm.
and different as opposed to Forza Horizon 4. They don't want to hear none of that though. They just look at that blue Supra picture and they just like put a couple of them in there like it's DLC.
Right. Right. And then so like I'm looking at Fahim, AK whatever, who I don't know
Fahim's giving me content for days, but like
Oh
by the way,
yeah. Like, okay, so Fahim sitting here is telling me like, what are you talking about? Who's been mad? I'll explain, because all you got to do is just look on my page. Because when I made my point on Twitter the other when this stuff first came out, I just made it shit like PlayStation people gotta act better than this, man. Like there ain't no need to be tripping about it. Just, you know what I'm saying, the game is going to speak for itself when it drops. People are going to be excited for it. It shouldn't stop anything or whatever. It's just a person who has the right to give his opinion about the game. You know what I'm saying? He has every right to give whatever opinion he wants to about God of War. He does. If anybody has any right to say anything about God of War, positive, negative, indifferent, doesn't matter. David Jaffe has that right to say so.
Yo, for
right?
real.
And so when you sit there and I say something like, you know, I got what he was saying, like the game doesn't look like it has those same type of enhancements as though when you look at a game like Horizon Forbidden West. When you look at Horizon Zero Dawn and then you look at Horizon Forbidden West, there is significant difference graphically. It's just you don't see the same thing with God of War and God of War Ragnarok. You just don't. And that's not taking away of what the game is going to be. But I understood 100%, and it's no different than what we talked about with Spider-Man. And then so when PlayStation stands don't like it, then they talk about everything else about Xbox that's DLC and blah, 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 and welfare gaming and all that. But really, nobody, well, I can't say nobody, because I know that there's some Xbox gamers out there that takes that shit way too serious. But for the most part, most of the people I know don't care, because we still enjoying gaming. So I'm gonna do my crispy. At the end of the day, it's like at the end of the day, the biggest thing of it is the situations that's boiled down and it's happened afterwards, which is even more sickening. Because I was going down the rabbit hole, like, seeing how far this craziness is going. And then it got to a point to where it just got too just ridiculous. So you got Wilmy and everybody else, they over here understanding the situation. They're trying to play both sides. They don't want to offend one group, but then they understand that Jaffe is making a point which sounds kind of valid, and so he says what he has to say. Then they come and they say that the man's racist. Then it comes out, and then there's another situation go on where some I don't know if the guy's Asian. I've never heard of him, seeing or whatever, but he's not black or Latino or whatever. And so this dude sitting here and is got the green light to sit there and to call I guess his friends the N-word and put the ER behind it. And
hard R.
Hard R. And then And then like, but the same people that was calling dealer and everybody else racist, they're over here like, man, glad to have you back. And all. Bro, I said, you know what? I'm gonna just sweep this away. Because now I see it's more about affiliation of a piece of plastic than trying to hold on to the morals that you constantly try to hold people or try to hold people accountable to. You know, like they come up here trying to preach about what this needs to be, how it needs to be. Certain people don't act a certain way, don't answer, have certain people to their podcast. This is how this is, whatever. But then on the flip side, underneath the layers, it's corrupt, it's nasty, it's a lot of backstabbing, and it's really weird. So I said, okay, I'm done with that. So that's to me is the most embarrassing because it shouldn't be that serious. I mean, and this is all over because people want to have their opinions. I thought that's what the whole social media thing was about, for people to have their opinions. So again, my last point on it is just
healthy discussions.
Have healthy discussions about it. It's all right to have a different opinion than somebody else, but there should be a line drawn. And the saddest thing about this is that everybody's adults. There's no children in this. And that to me is the most disgusting aspect of it. We're grown ass adults acting like fools, yelling at people who've given you some games that some beloved content, and this is and then brag on social media about, yeah, we got the internet talking about us. Look at us. Nah, bro. Okay. I'm done.
Okay. All right. And guys, I don't know what happened to Crispy. I checked the Twitter DM. There was no kind of like nothing being said, but yeah, I can
sound like Crispy was on his way out of there.
Yeah, I think Crispy is not with us right now, but the show
Crispy was on his way out of there. It sounded like he was already partaking into the adult beverage, and
oh no,
it hit him a little hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys can do that. Like I can't drink and go on a show, man. Dude, I'm afraid of what I might change the topic to. Like seriously, man. I ain't gonna do that. Yeah.
Right.
People who know me in real life, when we go to the pool hall and shit like that, they've seen me in that.
But are you saying you get a little tinky winky?
No tinky winky.
Tinky
winky. No tinky winky, man. But I'll bring conversations to many different places. Let's just put it that way.
You bring conversations to a halt. Let's just say that.
No, I'm a very social drunk. I can't play video games. I can't sit there and just play video games if I'm getting drunk. Like I gotta be out there, like I said, at the pool hall. I love playing pool. And you know, while hitting the drinks and stuff like that, but I can't be stationary. Like even at house parties and stuff, I'm moving from room to room. I'm talking to everybody, like joking around, shit like that. You know, get beer pong going, stuff like that. Like I gotta be like physically active. I'm a very guys might find this surprising, but I'm a very hyper drunk. Like I need to do shit. I don't know if you guys can tell that from my natural personality, but yeah.
Right. I bet you sound like a real kid when you said, because you sound young as it is, but you sound really crazy. But Dreadpool said that the guy that I was talking about is Asian, and so regardless, I don't care what he is. Like, listen, I'm more liberal about certain things, and so like to me it's like, you know, if somebody sit here and like want to sit there and use the slang and you know, say the ebonics, and then you say the I ain't tripping, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I mean, unless he's cool, like I don't know you, then like hold on, we need to, hey, I don't know you, but if I know you, whatever, you know, and you know people know that knows you, whatever, and you use the okay, cool, whatever, it is what it is. It's a different time. But to but for me, the ER, like, bro, that I don't care who you are, that's next level. Just nah, man. Come on.
Nah, bro. Yo, shout out to the Elusive Gamer. What is up, bro? Good to see you in here, man. I see you. Yo, Dreadpool and all the Dreadites. Dreadpool, are the Dreadites here as well, man? What's going on? Good to see you, brother. We are switching topics, and we are going.
Oh, you finally showing my gameplay? Okay, I was wondering. I was like,
Yeah, no,
when did
I had it
Fox-
on there. I knew you were looking for it too, man. I knew it. Like
I was like, this fool
dude,
didn't put
me
in
and
my
you put
gameplay.
together, I gotta say, me and you put together, we have such a wide range of games and gameplay like on here, man. Like everything from Lost in Random, Forza Horizon to was Shadow Warrior 3,
Mm-hmm.
Is that Shadow
Elden
Warrior
Ring.
3? Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
That's
out.
funny.
Elden
Yeah.
Ring. Like, dude, we got a wide range. I'm absolutely loving the gameplay on the show tonight. People in the chat, are you watching the show as well? Let me know what you think about the gameplay that is being shown tonight. Of course, in the chat. Next topic, and this one is interesting to me. This is something that came from my brother K Mega. Now, for people who don't know, K Mega, he pulls double duty. He pulls double duty in the DMs, and he posts articles in Next Podcast and in GRG to get the discussions going, get the gaming topic discussions going. And I thought this was interesting. Now, I will put out the disclaimer because this comes from Reddit. Okay, so take it with a grain of salt. But it's talking about PlayStation exclusives moving into the future. And basically, what it's saying is that God of War Ragnarok is going to be the swan song, quote unquote, swan song of the PlayStation 4. And after this game releases, every Sony first party game after that is going to be PS5 only. Now, there's a couple reasons why I think this is interesting. Now, first off, PlayStation, when they first came out with in this generation, they're like, we believe in generations. When they were trying to sell the PlayStation 5 right off the bat, they were trying to differentiate themselves from Xbox. Xbox was marketing the fact that your games come with you, and not only do they come with you, but they will be enhanced on the new hardware. Plus, the new games that are coming out will also be playable on your Xbox One. And they really tried to differentiate themselves. And Jim Ryan came out and said, "No, we believe in generations. We want to give you a reason to buy the PlayStation 5." Basically, it's like direct opposite marketing was what they were doing. But then they had to kind of pull that back. They had to reel that in a little bit. Chip shortages going on. We had the whole COVID situation, stuff like that, and Jim Ryan had to come out and kind of say, for the foreseeable future, we're going to be putting our games on PS4 and PS5 as well. And we all know that PlayStation is also manufacturing at least 1 million PS4s this year. That's right, I said PS4s, not PS5s. They are putting out at least 1 million PS4s this year, which is one of the things that told me that God of War Ragnarok will be on time. It will be coming out this year because they want to make sure people have systems to play these games. Because K Mega, where do they make money?
Oh, what do you mean where they make money? I was over here. I was admiring my gameplay. I'm sorry. I
Oh
was
my
listening
goodness,
to
he was
halfway. That's all.
hypnotized by his
So was I.
own gameplay. No, they make the money on the software. All right, they get the hardware out there.
Yeah,
to sell
software.
the
I'm sorry.
So they're making these PS4s. Now, the funny thing to me, if this article is true, if God of War Ragnarok is the last PlayStation exclusive that's going to come out on PS4, I'm a little concerned, guys. And for a group of people, for a group of at least 1 million people, I am a little concerned for it, because if they are making PS4s this year to make sure that people get to play the games that are coming out and that came out this year, right? Are they expecting them as now going into next year, even though they just recently bought a console, that now they're going to have to jump in and grab the new one because the first party offerings won't be on PS4 anymore? And if you think about it, when they re-up, if they do go ahead and buy a PS5, the games that they bought this year on their PS4, they would have to pay an extra $10 to get all the bells and whistles for the game to be played on the PS5. I think that sounds like it might be a little shady. Dark Optimus, what do you think about this, bro? Do you think that this, again, it's from Reddit, but if it's true, dude, what's going on? The people that are buying the PS4s now to play, Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, because there are no PS5s out there right now. Do you think it would be fair? Do you think it would be logical to do something like that at that point in time?
Honestly, I think the only reason why they're doing it is because they can't get PlayStation 5s out. So they're like, oh, here you go with PS4. We're putting out PS4s. But I think a lot of people are either going to wait for the PS5 until they can get it, or they'll just play it on their PS4 that they already have. you know, um, I don't really see like why they're doing this. Like they should just focus on putting that attention and that type of thing into the PS5. Just say, hey, um, you know, I mean, I could see God of War being the last game for PS4, and then them saying next year, maybe having a few scattered games here and there, but the real like AAA blockbuster game will be God of War, but they'll have like how they have those like not AAA but AA games, kind of, and they'll probably come out with that um, next year, but I don't see them prolonging the PS4 any further than 2023, to be honest. Um, I think it's just time, man. Like I mean, I get that people can't get them, but they're gonna have to come up with some fucking solution, and I'm sure that's probably what they're doing right now. They're probably trying to come up with some solution to 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 allocate for the PS5s. Like chip wise, just trying to maybe they're thinking of emulating another chip that's similar to the PS5 chip, but it's cost effective, or they can actually get it or something. I don't know what they're doing, but all they're doing is kind of like they could have put that money into doing getting PS5s out for people, to be honest. Like I don't know why they're doing this. Because I think that it's kind of been proven that people will either just wait until they can get a PS5, or they'll play it on PS4. I mean, they like Miles Morales when that game first came out, a lot of people were waiting to get their PS5s in order to play that game. But of course, things happened where they couldn't get a PS5, so they played it on PS4. I knew plenty of people who did that. They were like, "Well, I'll just play it on PS4." And the game still looked good on PS4. Like I don't think there's a game yet that I've seen on the PS5 that I was like, holy fucking shit, you couldn't even get that on the PS4. I haven't seen that yet.
Not even Ratchet and
And
Clank?
um yeah, well, maybe that one. Like just in terms of like the way it no, actually honestly no. To be honest. Like I think they could have done Ratchet and Clank on PS4. Um it would have had a lot more load times for sure, but um they could have put that game on there and it would have still looked graphically pretty good. Um
Hey, Dark.
but
Dark, check this out.
hmm,
The only way this makes sense to me, and let me know
mhm,
if I'm reaching here. Now, a lot of people are talking about this year with Xbox. Stalker
uh-huh.
2 got delayed, and then the whole Russia thing happened.
Yeah, we
The
don't know if that game's even coming out this year. It
I
probably
think
won't
well the
at this point.
developers moved to the Czech Republic, so I think
Did they?
they're
Okay.
back at it.
I
So
didn't know. I see. I didn't even know that shit, man.
see
Well,
that's
if
why
they're
Yeah.
back
you
to
got to talk to
developing,
us, man.
we'll see
We're
some
in the
shit.
know, bro. We're in the know.
We'll
All
see
right.
some shit. Well, that's the thing. Like, yeah, sometimes I'm not in the know of Xbox sometimes. So,
But bro,
um,
check this out. So if they do go this route, and again,
uh-huh.
I'm not saying this is true. This is from Reddit, and I do, I appreciate,
Hmm.
the information because it had me thinking about this. Um, Everybody is kind of like getting on Xbox. Well, the PlayStation extremists are getting on like Xbox gamers case. They're like, oh well, you haven't had a new game this whole year and this and that or whatnot. But the way that this makes sense to me is if PlayStation is going to be light next year, if you notice, they already came out with a Horizon. They already came out with they're coming out with God of War. They're basically they shot their load, early when it comes to the games that are kind of like really known throughout the industry. They're big
Yeah,
hitting titles, right?
hit big
Um,
haters, blockbusters. Yeah.
so I know they're supposedly Spider-Man 2 is supposed to come out in 2023, but we don't really know that
Hmm.
yet. But nothing is stated like after that, right? Um,
Well, Wolverine is slated after that, but we
no,
don't
but
know
no,
when
that's
that
not next
is.
year. It
Yeah,
was
that's
slated.
definitely not next year.
Yeah, no, it was slated like it's in early development
The early
when they
development.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like drawing up the blueprint and stuff like that. Um, so if Sony is gonna have a light year next year, dare I
Hmm.
say, sparse when it comes to their first party offerings, that to me is the only way I can see this working because then, they put out their big hitter, God of War Ragnarok, and then maybe next holiday Spider-Man 2 comes out. So basically
Hmm.
that whole year, you know, there's really nothing coming out on PlayStation that people would be like, oh damn, I can't play that on the PS4 that I just got last year. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And they can
Hmm.
kind of move forward with their marketing and everything afterwards. So do you think that's a stretch there where I'm kind of, and I've been trying to tell these Sony extremists, I'm like, yo, guys, stop talking all that shit because you don't really know what's coming next year for PlayStation, and they just basically let loose their entire stable when it came to the end of the PS4, beginning of the PS5,
Hmm.
with all their well known franchises. Like we're do you think like the next Last of Us is like right around the corner, which it's not? Do you think they just started making another Uncharted? Like they
Yeah.
got Gran Turismo came out this year. Like and is it a reach to be like, yo, they really might have a light year next year in terms of their exclusives?
I think they've had a light year this year, to be honest. I mean, I think they've kind of had a light year.
Well, dude, they came
Um,
Horizon Forbidden West,
I mean, there were
Gran
some
Turismo
games. Yeah,
7,
there
God of
are
War
some games.
Ragnarok.
I'm not saying that there isn't games. I'm just saying that there's not. Oh, there's not like games like they had when the PS4 was out. Like they had like a game almost every couple of months. They had a game coming out for the PS4. Like it was almost ridiculous. Like every like it was like February, and then they would wait until like maybe May, June, and then have a game come out, have a couple games come out at that time, and then they had the winter launches that they had. And right now they're kind of, they're not really like last year they didn't really come out with anything during the winter time. I mean, they had Kana, Bridge of Spirits, but that's not like a triple A blockbuster game.
Yeah, that
Um,
wasn't like what they would call quote unquote
Mhm.
selling consoles. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
selling consoles. Yeah, I think you're onto something there where it's like the games that they've said that they're going to come out with, and there's um
Gap.
a gap. There might be a gap. I just don't think there's going to be I think what they'll do is do like maybe 2 or 3 games per year, something like that, until they can kind of fill up that gap. Um, I know they're working on stuff though. We all know that they are working on stuff. We just don't know to see it. We're gonna get it. Shoot, we don't even know what's coming from Xbox this year yet. Like we only know Starfield, really, and Stalker 2.
Well, Redfall,
Yeah,
Redfall
Redfall, but
is
I
coming
didn't that
out.
get delayed though?
It got delayed until later this year. It was supposed to come
Got
out.
delayed till later.
Yeah,
It's probably coming out in October, probably more than likely. That sounds like
that would make sense
a good
with
October
the
game,
theme of the
right?
game. Yeah, it would definitely
Like
make sense.
with the theme of a game, like it sounds like more October game anyways. When I first saw it, I was like, dude, this totally could come out in October. I could
So
see people
Starfield,
fucking gravitating
Redfall,
towards it.
and then we got like smaller games. Like there
Oh
might
yeah,
be unannounced
smaller
games, but
games.
like you got Scorn.
Hmm.
Supposedly, Stalker 2 uh, was
Yeah,
delayed until like
December
later
8th,
on this year as
I think it
well,
was.
something like that,
I think it was
December.
December
So
8th.
you
So
look at like and of course Motorsport wasn't announced yet, so I can't put that in there. But there's
right,
like so many
that'll get
people
announced soon. That's gonna get
that
announced
talk
in
to
June.
like Xbox, the Xbox brass. They're basically saying that yeah, that's right around the corner as well. So you're looking
Yeah,
at possibly
they got.
September, October, November, and
Yeah,
December.
yeah.
That's crazy right there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know if PlayStation's gonna have a game this holiday season. I mean, if anything, it'll be God of War Ragnarok, and that's about it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I'm
which
thinking as
is
well.
which is fine. Which is not it's not a problem. Like, there's no problem there. It's just I I personally would like to see like at least 4 exclusives come out throughout the year, or something like that. Something that kind of holds you over when after you're playing your third party stuff, and then you can jump right back into the next exclusive or whatever. I see where you're going though with the whole they kind of blew their load with their games.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, like they definitely gonna have to figure out what's gonna be their next blockbuster game that's coming out besides Spider-Man 2.
Well, I
Because
mean, they have
we
second
know,
party deals or timed
yeah,
exclusives, but I think that's what they're
they
going to
they do have
rely
their
on.
timed exclusives, but can you really consider those exclusives if they're just timed? Like I mean, most of those timed exclusives are gonna go to PC day one they come
Ooh,
out on
great
the
point.
PS5.
That's a great point
Like
too.
Forspoken's coming out day one on PC. Like the only timed exclusivity that they have is to not put it on the Xbox. And as bad as that sounds, because I mean it does sound
That's
bad.
probably in the contract too. It's-
Do not put this on Xbox for 2 years, something like that.
and definitely not on Game Pass for like 5.
Definitely,
Like,
definitely do not put this on Game Pass until like 10 years from now. But
yeah, I wouldn't be
yeah,
signing
I
that
mean,
contract.
I don't know, man. I mean, I want to know information. I want to see what they're going to come out with, but yeah, there's that gap there where we don't know what's coming. We know that Forspoken is going to be in October, but that's not really an exclusive. It's timed. And then you got, probably God of War Ragnarok, is going to come out.
That's their big
And
hitter, man.
then what's coming out next year? We don't know. We only know
Supposedly Spider-Man 2, but that
Spider-Man
could be
2, right?
holiday of next year. So
But
then
right, that could be
you're
holiday
going to be
next year.
dealing with what exactly the extremists were talking about with
Hmm.
Xbox this year, which is why I'm telling them like there's really no need to like basically hang yourself on this whole thing because it looks like right around the corner,
I mean,
you're gonna be dealing with something
they
like
might
that.
have, but they might have big games, but they might not. necessarily look at them. I mean, they probably look at them as console sellers, but they probably don't necessarily look at them as like everybody's gonna gravitate towards this, like they do with God of War or Horizon and things like that. Some of these games are probably new IPs that people have never even heard of, never even seen, and that's what they're kind of gonna show off. I mean, I'm excited to see what both companies show off, but um I want dates, man. I like having the date of when this game's coming out, not like trailers, cool, teasers, cool, whatever, gameplay, cool. I want to know the date of the game's coming out, so then I can be like, yep, I'm picking that up, buying that day one or whatever. Like when Stalker 2 got delayed, I was like, fuck, man.
I was so upset about that, man. That game
I
hyped me
I
up,
was
bro.
too, because I was like, oh shit, like if it comes, comes out in April, sweet, like I have some time to like, play my other games, and then I can play that maybe, in May or June, when done with, uh Elden Ring or whatever, and now it's not until like, December, and I'm just like, well, maybe December, we don't know yet. Um it just kind of sucks because I don't know if it has anything to do with what happened with COVID, or if it has anything to do with just, you know, I don't know what's going on, man, to be honest. Like we haven't had any good news about like games, like big AAA games for quite a while, like we've had, snippets here and there of games that were like, oh, that's cool, we're gonna get a remake of this, or we're gonna get a new game of that or whatever, but we haven't had anything big in a while, and I know that they're saving it for probably their summer um outings and stuff that they do, but I just hope that PlayStation doesn't do another like fucking September fucking thing that they did like last year. Like
Oh.
September's so fucking far away, dude. That's so far away. Do it in June like fucking Xbox does it. So we know like, oh, okay, this is coming out. Okay, sweet. Awesome. We're excited. Let's get going. Let's play these games, And I'll tell you, man, I will say this. Xbox has always been that company that gets you like does their thing in the summer and gets you excited for what's coming in the winter. They've always done that. Always. No matter how long I've and as long as I've been on Xbox, dude, they've been doing that. And I've been down Xbox since day one, So even though I'm more of a PlayStation guy,
Y'all gonna have a
I
conversation
still
between
like
you
my
two for the
Xbox.
next 30 minutes or more.
Yes, we're gonna have a
Oh
damn.
man.
I was
I didn't
actually
even
going
know
to
you
do
were
that.
here, Pred.
I've been
I was-
here. I'm
I-
like,
I didn't
wait,
even know you
what's
were
up?
here.
I
I
was
thought
over
you
here
were.
like
Like,
mine over here just won't
I
shut up
thought
and
you
let
were
Dark
gone.
talk, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, man.
I thought,
It's because I haven't been on in a while. That's why he's just like he's
I thought you
talk.
guys would think about each other and be like, well, damn, man, I'm taking the mic.
I'm
Let
over
me
here
let me
playing
hand it
Anthem.
off.
You know how I get. I'm like, okay.
Dude, you're like one of
Well,
two other
well,
people that are
that's what
playing.
media.
I'm playing. Servers still work. That's all that matters.
Yo, Pred, you heard again. This is from Reddit, but quite possibly, when it comes down to it, God of War Ragnarok could be the last first party PlayStation game to be on PS4 and PS5. What do you think about that? You heard what I said about them making PS4s. You heard my hypothesis that next year could possibly be a light year for PlayStation 5, like first party games, which that would kind of go with them like stopping that whole supporting the PS4 thing. What are your thoughts, man? What do you think is going on here?
I think they were ready to leave that behind before, so they're just now re-implementing it. But it's just weird because when we talked about like their console sells, not sells, that's not what I'm trying to say. Their system selling games.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have system selling games if you can't get systems in people's hands. So like that's part of the problem. Like it's not, and that's why they decided to go back to making PS4s, right? So, and again, I still have not seen any of those on the shelves either, by the way. But I did see someone drop. There was a drop for for the first time in a while, I've seen a PlayStation 5 drop today. Best Buy had some, but
I heard
they were
something
gone.
Saturday
Just
they
like
might
that.
be at GameStop website.
Yeah. But it's hard to like. I think like the games they've had come out this year, were probably really really good games, but we just couldn't get our hands on the system to play them. You know what I'm saying? So like, I might have bought a PlayStation 5 for Ratchet and Clank. I might have bought a PlayStation 5 for Horizon, but they're not plentifully they're not available to get. So it's like you're kind of stuck with like what the fuck. So the thing that we're not thinking about too is like their plan, especially now, since they can't get systems out, but they want to get games out, is to put the games out first. Even though people can't get them, most of the people can't get them because they can't get a system, and then wait about 4 or 5 months, 6 months, and then put it on PC. So they're still going to be relevant as far as generating revenue because they're going to put those games that came out earlier in the generation on PC now. That didn't come out their day and date. They're exclusives anyway. So like you'll see, like I think Uncharted's coming here soon. You know, they got a lineup for the
Yeah,
holidays.
June.
It's just not for the system. It's for the PC. So and which is almost smart why they didn't do day and date like Xbox does, because they can always keep something fresh in the pipeline for somebody. Because if they put God of War out on PC right now, or when it comes out day and date, all that push will go that week. I mean, like here you go, Horizon. That push will go out that week for everybody, and then once the game's done, we're right back where we're at again. They don't have anything coming out, but like now they can say, hey, we're putting Horizon out and Ghost of Tsushima out for the holiday on PC. And then the PC fans are going to eat that shit up because every time one of the console exclusive goes on PC, it's been shown it generates money. From the time that Microsoft did it with day and date with like Halo and stuff like that, it's going to generate money. Those guys want those games over there too because they don't feel like buying a console. We're peasants over here, so they'll wait, and they'll get it on PC. But at some point they're gonna have to cut that lifeline. Xbox is gonna have to do it too, and start just making games for the consoles. I think Microsoft has a better plan because they can do forward and backward compatibility. So Sony seems to have a problem with that. So they're gonna have to cut the system off at some point. But I think God of War, because I don't know what's coming out after that. That's probably a good time to do it. To be honest with you. I mean, that's probably like the last big game they got coming out until, because we don't know what they got coming out, like really, really like next year, early 2023, right? I mean, like we've got some ideals, but you start thinking about
there's
how
nothing
this,
etched in stone. There's nothing that really like they came out.
yeah,
with
nothing
a
will
date.
be out that far out, and even then, even if it is, like it's going to be delayed anyway. So it's just nature of the beast. I mean, it's just nature of the beast nowadays. Even because before COVID, Sony always delayed their exclusives, like multiple times. I can't think of one game that ever came out on time, and a delay might be 3 months, it might be a fucking year. But I can't think of one that came out on time. They would they smoke a mirror at you and be like, here's the game, we're gonna release it summer of 2022, and then they push it back. Yeah, this game's not ready yet. We're gonna put it out in May of 2023. Like they've done that in the past. So COVID was just like a good excuse at this point for them. So I don't really know what they got coming down the pipeline, but I think with them turning that switch off, I think the only bad part about it is like if you're gonna turn that switch off, you need to have product out there for people to pick up just in case. Like just in case I want to play God of War and I can't fucking find a PlayStation 5, and with them not having really thing in the pipeline, they like to front load throughout the year. Um, their exclusives. They put everything out in the beginning of the year versus, fucking around the holiday season. It seems like that's their plan right now. So I could see them doing a custom console for God of War if they can get them out and then killing it. Just dropping the PlayStation 4 completely. I mean, it makes sense. And then they got the VR coming out this year too, hopefully. I think it's supposed to come out at the end of the year, right? Somebody correct me on that. But at least they're announcing it at the end of the year.
I think they'll at least like show it. I'm not sure if it's coming out this year, but
What? God of War?
No,
No,
PSVR
VR.
too.
I mean, and
Oh,
if
PSVR,
they
yeah.
do put it out this year, that's their that's their holiday lineup right there. They'll put that out, and they'll put the VR for Forbidden West.
Yep.
That's their lineup, and then whatever else they can throw out there, for this thing. So like they're selling the system, is the one that people can find. There you go.
Yo, shout out to Others Inc. What is up, brother? Good to see you in the chat. And he's already he's Others Inking it full steam ahead. Sony will delay a game. People will say it's great. Xbox delays a game, and there's management issues. Bro, crazy man, crazy, bro. Yo, Mega, you heard everybody else, man, and
Mhm.
you're the one who shared this post with me, and again, I definitely appreciate it because it made me think, and I've been trying to tell people that when they're talking about the whole Xbox has no games and oh, what game did they come out with in 2022, and then if it comes down to it, it's gonna be like, well, between this and this of 2022, like they the goalpost just keeps moving and moving and moving. But I tried to warn him. I was like, guys, like, what do you have slated for next year? Loosely Spider-Man. All right, but after that, like, what franchises that first party like work on are really in the oven, ready to come out next year? And I don't really see anything in that arena. So I'm thinking it would be a good time for them in terms of like stopping the support of the PS4 because it gives a little bit of leeway, a little bit of breathing room before they have to deal with the fact that they sold PlayStation 4s in 2022 and then they stopped supporting PlayStation 4 in 2023. What do you think about this? Do you think it's true, man? And what do you think that we might be on the verge of a, dare I say, sparse year on the PlayStation platform?
I don't know. Me personally, I just think it's it's a lot of unknowns. I think it won't be sparse because PlayStation is gonna if they don't have their IPs that they're gonna be bringing out, then they'll have timed exclusives. Because another game that looked like seems like they'll be slated to come out next year will be Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
I think that in PlayStation and we're already hearing rumors about Project Eve is probably going to be a timed exclusive, even though they said it was going to be coming to Xbox, but PlayStation's look like they put their dirty little hands on the character, and then they want to spin that bag for a little while to keep it off for at least 4 years. So they'll have titles because I don't see Project Eve coming out this year. I see Project Eve coming out next year. So I don't I think they'll be fine. I really do. I hear people talk about Wolverine and all that stuff. I don't think Wolverine ain't going to come
Wolverine
out
ain't
until
coming out till
2024,
like
24. Yeah.
2025, bro. Like,
Yeah, 2024, something like 24 after.
I don't know the way that fucking Insomniac pushes out games and reuses assets. They might put it out in 2024.
dude,
Dude.
you'll have Spider-Man dressed up like Wolverine.
no different.
Is what
Yeah, then it'll be no different than a Miles Morales. If Wolverine comes out at that point. So, and I'm not saying that Miles Morales was a bad game because it's not. I'm just saying it won't be what I think people was expecting from Miles Morales, like because people enjoyed the game, but they thought they could get more out of the title, like they did from the other Spider-Man game. So yeah, no, I think they'll be fine because they'll at least have timed exclusives. So I mean, you just look at that. You have Final Fantasy. You'll have look like Spider-Man 2. And then I'm sure there'll be some DLC. They might even bring out something from. They'll definitely have some DLC from Forbidden West. I know that they're trying to tell people that they're going to put out God of War at this point in time. This year. I don't see it. I think that they'll move it to make
I think
sure.
the developer came out
Yeah.
today and said they
Yeah.
reiterated it's coming out this year.
Yeah, I don't. No, I don't think. It can, but is it going to come out? Because I don't see it being a end of the year title. So when's the last time Sony brought an end of year title? And it did well.
If there's any franchise on
Spider-Man
PlayStation
probably.
that could come out like that.
Spider-Man was not end of the year. Spider-Man was in September, October.
That's within the
Well,
fourth
I
quarter.
guess-
That's within
I
holiday
guess that's
season.
fourth quarter. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. All right. So Spider-Man. All right. Okay. So it ain't coming out no later than October. And if that's the case, because I mean, they're not they would be cannibalizing themselves because of the Call of Duty fan and whatever else. I'm not even going to talk about a Starfield. But that's just when the bigger titles come is at the end of the year. So God of War could come out there, but I just still see first quarter for God of War. I just don't. I mean, the game will do well, but it'll do, I think, a hell of a lot better if it's at the first quarter of 2023. Personally, but yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be dry. Another thing though that was pretty interesting. While I'm killing these enemies, this game still looks beautiful without no Series X enhancements. Oh God, I want Anthem back in my life. Oh, anyway, okay, so there this leaker was bringing up all this information about all these games are supposed to be coming out here to the to PC.
Yeah.
All right, so then there was another person that was a big time leaker, or I thought it was a person that was from like inside. I guess he's an insider. He's a big time insider, but he said that none of this stuff is true. It's false. But what cracked me up is that we all know it's just Pratt was even bringing up, like Sony even admitted that they're going to be bringing a lot of games over to the PC. So I'm beginning to start to believe this first leaker because he hasn't been wrong from PlayStation, from what I've been reading here on Reddit and stuff from a lot of PlayStation fans. So I just don't understand why people would think that he's that he's not coming with it. So okay, so what he's saying now, the only thing I think that, and we'll never know, because he said that Demon Souls, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, Deathloop were going to come on was going to have PS4 ports, but Sony canned it. We'll never know, because
we'll never know.
You'll never know, but that would just prove the point that I was over here talking about last year about, like, yeah, that game could come on PlayStation 4. But this leaker is saying that Rift Apart, Demon Souls, Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, Ghost of Tsushima, and Ragnarok will be having PC ports.
You think Ragnarok will be day and date?
No, but he's just saying they'll have ports. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, and it was crazy because it makes sense. I mean, you would expect all those games to get PC ports. But this other person from PlayStation was over here saying, no, that's not happening. None of all that stuff is BS. How is it BS when Sony said themselves and they picked up Nexus to help with their PC ports? Mm-hmm. So I see all these games coming over here to PC. I really do. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Dark thinks, but I just don't see why would you, like, I don't see Bloodborne, because I think that's another issue. Me and Don talked about that last night. Was I think that has something to do with From Software. Now, this could be one of the
lot to do with From
that
Software.
has to do with From Software, because that I mean, there's agreements and things like that. Even though Sony owns the IP, but it's still different. But this could be the reason for these rumors that's going around that Sony's going to be picking up From Software. And then they could do a remake of Bloodborne and put that remake on PC. So I mean, there's some smoke there. It seems like there might be something that could be true about it. Yeah, director's cuts. Yeah, that's a remake, but director's cuts. Yeah,
he was the one. He was like, they can do director's cuts.
Yeah, see, I'm over here looking at the stuff that dude posted, but I kind of look at this whole situation as what, like, yeah, Sony Sony can still do well even without having these games, not having a lot of games coming out next year. But I do feel that they'll have timed exclusives to kind of tie over. I think that from what you said in the beginning about them having their first party titles coming out, that might be sparse, but they'll have enough coming out to get, to handle business, and they'll have, I think, a couple of PC releases as well that will get people hyped up, and they'll make a lot of money off of that too. So I think Sony will still do well, but I think they have no choice, because I think that's when Xbox is really going to kick it in gear is next year. So because there's going to be Halo season 4 at that point in time. So then we'll actually know and understand what Halo is going to be. And then just everything else that's going to be coming out at that point, because then you're going to have at least Hellblade or Fable or whatever.
Slated for next year. Hellblade 2 is slated for next year as well. Those two right there. From what's going on, and K-Mega, we try to warn people, man. We try to, when it came down to it, all the first party studios that are under Microsoft's and Xbox's umbrella, they all have multiple teams that are working on multiple games. As soon as these games start releasing, they're not stopping. Over 30 studios that are working on multiple games. Like, you're going to see games coming out like every couple months under the first party umbrella, and it's just going to keep going.
Right. And then whatever they're going to be adding to Game Pass. I still think, and I'm going to die on this hill. I said, I will admit when I'm wrong. I was going hardcore about Bleeding Edge, which I still love. I'm still going to cap for that game, but it didn't do what I was expecting it to do. And Anthem, those games didn't live up to the potential. And but I'm still dying on this hill, man. I think that this could be the year that we finally find, because we're at the 2-year mark for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I think that they'll say we'll.
Man,
man, it's coming.
I don't know, man.
Persona 5 is on its way. I don't think it's Persona 5 yet, but we could see a Persona 4, something like that. Oh man, this Sega thing, man. This Sega Xbox thing, man. Y'all just don't know. Man. It's gonna be sweet.
I don't know about Final Fantasy, man.
I saw people talking about that Persona though, Dark. There's something there.
You gotta remember that.
There's something there.
That's Atlas, though. That's not Sega.
That's Sega. That is Sega. Sega owns Atlas.
Do they own Atlas?
Yeah. Now see, this is what's crazy. When have we ever seen? I can't remember, and I don't think there might have been on the 360, maybe OG Xbox. I don't know. I'm going to say I haven't seen it. JoJo Bizarre Adventure. I've never seen that fighting game. It may have been an arcade game on the 360, but
there was a 360 JoJo.
Okay.
There was a 360. Me and my son were talking about it because.
But then there's Gundam that's coming. Even though that's not the type of Gundam game. Well, no, both Gundams is coming, because somebody told me, because I said that one Gundam game that they showed is coming. It doesn't look like that's my taste. I want one of those RPG Gundams. And they said that new Gundam that was shown is going to be coming to Xbox as well. And damn Digimon. When has a Digimon game been on Xbox?
Probably 360. I would have to look it up, man.
Digimon. I'm tripping out. And then of course you have the other RPG that's going to be coming out this summer. I can't think of the actual name of it right now, but man, this push from Xbox is about to show that we're about to see a lot of things coming in the Japanese space, and Xbox is going to, because we're already seeing it. Now, the one thing that I was that I'm a little bit upset for, because right now it's coming to look like that DNF Fighters, Duel, looks like it's only going to be on PlayStation and PC at the moment, and it was slated to come to Xbox. It was the same way from where I got my information from about King of the Fighters. Sony could have threw the bag and say, we'll just go ahead and just hold on to this for a little while, and then it might eventually come. But I don't know. I think the new Atlas, because Atlas has been keeping their games away from Xbox. I think the new studio that's like that, like how Atlas was, is Art System Works, man. I just think that like Guilty Gear, and now you got DNF Duel. I think now Sony's got. I think maybe that might be the studio that might be that might get acquired by Sony, because I mean the way that they're just keeping some of these great fighters off of the competition, it blows my mind. It baffles me, but it is what it is.
All right, I got you, bro. I got you, man.
Yeah,
And
okay.
all really good opinions. We have one
I
last.
showed some love to PlayStation, man. I showed some love to PlayStation today, and people, you know. So.
We have one last topic
Mhm.
for the show, and it's a pretty big one, at least for me. I think for K Mega as well. Uh, uh, Possibly Dark. Pred gets mad at me when I talk about it so much, but we are talking about Halo Infinite tonight, guys, and
Oh
the
man.
reason why is information is finally really coming out when it comes to season 2, and I have gone on record stating that, when we first started seeing the information, I was like, yo, 3 game modes and 2 maps and then cosmetics aren't going to do the damn thing. I was like, that's not what I would be looking for in a new season for this game. It wouldn't be enough, in my opinion. So again, 2 maps, but here is a list of game modes that are coming with season 2. Now check this out: Ninja Slayer, Last Spartan Standing, Vampire Ball, King of the Hill, Land Grab, and Rumble Pit. Now, with all those, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 new game modes. Team Snipers, Team Doubles, and Team Skirmish will also be rotated in and out of the playlist as well. So that means that Ninja Slayer, Last Spartan Standing, Vampire Ball, King of the Hill, Land Grab, and Rumble Pit will be in the rotation constantly. They're going to be right there with Slayer and stuff like that. Now, not only that, but if you look at Last Spartan Standing, there are definitely battle royale elements to this. It's going to be on the bigger maps. It's going to have kind of like that kill border that closes in over time. I don't think you're gonna have to run and scavenge the way, kind of like the way people know when it comes to Fortnite and PUBG. But of course, you are gonna be going in there to try to get the power weapons that you can, and all that good stuff. It is almost a smaller scale battle royale, and I gotta say this interests me. This has my interest because when it comes down to it, this is a mode that people will definitely play over and over. When you look at like the newer generation and the people that get into battle royale and stuff, it's not necessarily that huge map like Fortnite, like PUBG, but there's definitely elements there. I feel what they need for this mode, and I hope they have it, is cosmetics, armor, and stuff like that specific to that mode that you can earn by playing Last Spartan Standing. But I gotta say, besides just the 2 maps, everything else that I am seeing from 343 is adding up to a quality season coming. I think it's May 3rd. May 3rd, the new season drops. I went from being like, man, they gotta do more, to finally seeing the game modes, and kind of like you can really tell what these game modes are by their names if you have played Halo and stuff like that. So like I'm getting hyped for this. I really am. So I'm gonna go with the man I know absolutely has an interest in this. I'm gonna go to K Mega first on this. K Mega, you heard the game modes. You heard the game modes that will be rotated in and out of kind of like your basic menu where you're picking what gameplay types you're going into for multiplayer. I believe you've seen the cosmetics. I saw where they had the elite skull that you can earn and have as like on your shoulder as a part of your armor, stuff like that. The cosmetics I think look really good from what I've seen. Um, and the only thing is the two maps where if you have those highly replayable modes and stuff like that, and if it's a shorter season than the first season, I don't think we have an issue here. What do you think? What do you think? How do you think 343 is doing so far with what we're hearing about season two? And do you think they're going in the right direction? Are you hyped to get back into Halo Infinite when this new season drops, man?
Yeah. And let me make a correction because I see Fahim over here telling me Nixus. Sorry, instead of Nexus, I did say Nexus.
Let him be. We all let him be country. We all did that on the panel.
Well, I was in the middle of kicking some aliens' ass in Anthem, so you know it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, no, I am excited about it. You know, we talked about it last night. That of course it would have been a lot better if just, and I understand nobody would have been happy. You're not 343 is not going to please anybody, and there's always going to be 343 haters regardless. So, but it would have just been better if they delayed Halo until and dropped the game May 3rd. You know, that's what I said last night. I said you could have kept the hype going because you could have gave people bite-sized bits with the beta, kept giving out little information, and then we would have been in a better situation overall because by the time that we get done because you would have had season 1, then they could have just dropped season 2 somewhere in the middle, and then season 3 is still going to be coming out this year. Everything would have been perfect. You know, now the one problem could have been where people would have probably had a problem with the money aspect or the microtransactions or whatever. That could have been an issue, but other than that, everything else would have been just perfect to release it at that time. But they didn't, so we had this long gap of like I said, I haven't played in like 2 months, so I'll be jumping back in. I'm looking forward to it. I wish there was 3 to 4 maps personally, but I mean, I do like the fact that they are adding a lot of modes. I want but I don't think that we'll see anything close to what I want, like Warzone, until the whole Forge comes, because most likely that will probably be a Forge type of ordeal.
I hope they don't hook that to Forge. I want Warzone built maps.
I do too, but I keep hearing that that they'll probably do it with Forge because Forge is not going to be what anybody is thinking about. Like, I mean, like Forge is going to be so incredible that it's not like it's that special. Let's just put it like that. Like Forge is next level.
Forge was really good in Halo 5, but at the end of the
day,
and people did really cool things, but the generic buildings and walls that were all the same.
This is not. No, what this is.
I need some of your
is going to be
bro.
It's going to be. Well, you left out of GRG Friday night, and then the information started dropping from One Bad Mother, and then other people later on. So
Bad Insider.
Yeah. So it's for real. But no. But other than that, and then just other information that I've been getting from other people as well. So it's like, oh yeah, all right. And then Don has also been talking way, like, you know how Don is not the biggest fan of Halo Infinite, but he does talk good about Forge. So that should tell you something.
Yeah, because he loves that sumo, which I can't stand.
So regardless, I am pleased about it. Will that bring everybody back? I don't think so, not yet. I think by the time that we get to season 3, I think that's what's going to be the start where people are going to start coming back. Now, the one thing that I said last night, which I'm going to say this again, is that I said that this game was going to be kind of a hybrid. It was going to give the people what they wanted that were Bungie Halo fans, and they were going to give a little bit of Halo 4, Halo 5 into the multiplayer aspect of it. What is disappointing is that for that 343 catered to the Bungie Halo fans so hard. You would think that they would still be capping for this game, but they just ran off and jumped with Master Chief Collection. You don't hear them talk anything positive about Halo Infinite anymore because, and that to me is just where I go back to this. I say, 343, do what you want to do. It's the same thing like what we've seen with God of War. As an old a God of War fan, I was not on board for the new God of War until I got to play it. And then after I played it, I was like, I'm a believer now. Like, oh, okay, I got you. I need to shut my mouth now. That's the only way that you're going to get the Bungie fan to shut up is when you got other people that's like, this is dope. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. And so that's the only way that you're going to get through that. You know what I'm saying? Because they cater to them, and then what do? They're still complaining, or they're not even talking about Halo anymore. So they will talk about it, I guess, when they come back and they do this. But I don't think when the majority of people, because I think this is a good size, but this is only a sample size. Will really come back around season 3, really season 4 when the co-op Forge, all of that stuff is going to be. So which pretty much is going to be, but probably next year is when we'll really start seeing it all coming together. But it's a good sign. It's unfortunate because 343 has to learn how to make their biggest IP or one of the biggest IPs on Xbox into a service game, and obviously they wasn't fully prepared for what to expect, and it was just kind of like the whole situation with, and I'm probably going to steal this from Fred, like Destiny. I mean, I'm sorry, like this. I'm sorry, like Division, because the Division was so damn good and so raw. Like I couldn't get enough of it. But then when the content dried out, it was like, what else do I do? I can't keep playing the same shit over and over and over. Even though this game feels so good, it's so fun. That's what keeps people still continue to play Halo, is because the combat, everything of how the game plays and feels so good. It's just that content over time. And when you got other games like Fortnite, Warzone, etc., and then you're going to have even more stuff out there that's going to be more shooters and the games like that, Apex and all that, come out with content because they already got the shit rolling. Halo's going to be a little behind the barrel a little bit, I say, until probably mid or end of 2023 from the standard of what I think 343 wants. But by no means that means that Halo is dead or finished or nobody's going to be playing it or it's going to be obsolete, because once that content really drops, we'll start seeing, who cares about we care, I guess people do care about the Steam numbers because they always show them, but for the most part, Halo is definitely going to be
hold on. And thank you for bringing that up, because only certain people care about the Steam numbers. If you notice what they show, is Steam numbers and streaming numbers. You know why? You know why? Because when it comes to Halo on Xbox, now granted, it did take a dip because this season was incredibly long for having the content that it was offering.
And desync issues and all the other types of stuff, right? Like, I mean, it was
incredibly long, right? And it's still number 11 when it comes to the most played games on Xbox.
On the Xbox, right? Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. That tells you, the gameplay and the way that the game plays and feels is a testament to 343's magicry. I mean, just skill level and what they can do, and then they're dealing with a new engine and all of that, right? Like, I mean, but there's no excuse. People have to understand, like, they should have had this shit well prepared on knowing what a service game is, because I mean they should have known better.
I mean, they did a better job with Halo 5 when it came out in terms of dropping content.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And that was a standard game. And even though Halo 5 didn't come out with all of the modes that people loved, but once it really started trickling down, Halo 5 is we love Halo 5. So that's the thing to me, is where it's like, okay, we understand it, but you should have been more transparent about the situation firsthand. And you wouldn't have people even the people that support 343 start to second guess you because you came because this is the same thing that Battlefield that DICE did, well, EA did with Battlefield. Come and tell us what they were going to have and what to expect and get you hype. And then all of a sudden, is this the one thing, though? I will say this and then I'll be done. That helps Halo a multiplayer is the fact that the game is free to play. If this was a paid game, all hell would have been broken loose and Halo would have been in a bad state. I really do think that. And it wouldn't have been, it damn sure wouldn't have been top 10, top 11. That was the smartest move that they ever thought of by making sure that game was free to, the multiplayer was free to play, because then it doesn't give people the incentive to feel like they got gypped. They'll be, people are impatient, gamers are impatient, but they can always fall back on, well, I got this shit on Game Pass, or you know what, this shit is free to play. I can't even complain like that. So whenever they come with the content, I'll come back to it. But like Battlefield, like how I feel, Jack, I ain't never paying $100 again for another Battlefield ever again. You've done me too dirty. So thank their lucky stars that they got past that hurdle. But I think this will be like a Fortnite situation where Fortnite was dead on arrival, and then they hit their stride. However they did it, pretty much stealing for PUBG, but
literally,
but they found their stride, and Halo is definitely going to find that stride.
I got you, brother. And I am moving on to another panel member, but I just want to answer something to you, K-Mac, because you said about 343, do what you want to do. Now I've agreed with you 100% through all that.
Right.
We've gone out there and said it. And the
stop,
Don as
stop
well. The Don.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Anybody that was a lead or the head of any department within 343 that did feel that way, that was doing that, they're not there anymore.
Right, because they felt the pressure from people that they thought that was going to be supporting them at this point in time now, and hopefully that they see, they're not, they're just going to complain. Like Elusive Gamer, just like he said, the Bungie Halo fan is always going to be not satisfied.
Dude,
the only way that they'll feel satisfied if the Bungie fan is making Halo and
Halo
others
3
I
again,
know.
Halo 3 again and again and again. That's all they want.
Yeah, that's all they want. And others I know that they post content stuff in the waypoint, but not everybody's looking at the waypoint. Like, just got to be a little bit more transparent. And when you see stuff, it's kind of like how, like when you watch the news or things like that, like people can see certain things when they go out there and give a press conference or something like that, but people ain't watching the stuff that gives you the rest of the information to let you know what to be expecting and what to understand. People only just see that certain thing right then and there, and then if it doesn't come, then people are already they're pissed off and they're not, because they haven't got what they want or they expect it better. So that's just kind of like how it is. People, not everybody's going to be fully in tune like we are, because they got other things that they want to do and other things they want to check out.
Again, I do want to get to the rest of the panel, but I believe that whole being transparent and communicating with the community, I think that is something that 343 can definitely learn a thing or two when it comes to Bungie. Bungie does something called a TWAB every single week, talking about what they're doing with the game. That's every week. It's called This Week at Bungie. All right, and they have it out there. And not only that, but Bungie is very active on social media, letting people know what's going on, and kind of interacting with the community. I think 343, you got a game as a service here. That's a free to play. You got to interact with the community. You got to do it on a daily basis. You got to be all about that. And you got to have a dedicated division within 343 that is just there to talk to the fans, to talk to the consumers, and they get all that down. They're good to go. They're good to go. And I am excited. I'm excited for all these game modes, especially Last Spartan Standing. And if they have exclusive gear that you can earn, I think that would also really kind of bolster where 343 is going with the multiplayer for Halo. So let's go to Pred real quick, because I know Pred, you probably, I don't know how much you want to get into this, but again, multiple game modes, only 2 maps, which I am disappointed with that. I thought there should definitely be more after such a long wait. But with these new maps, something that is similar to a battle royale esque type multiplayer, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel here. I don't know what you think though, man. I want to hear your opinion.
I don't really have one. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I hate when these games come out. Like, they get shit right in one game, and then the next game comes out and they just fuck off everything else that they just did in the previous game.
It's like they sniffed glue before the new game came out.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
just
I
completely-
get maybe like sometimes they want to kind of slow play it a little bit. Let me give you this, and let me give you that, let me give you this, and then like I get that aspect of it, but like if you have this game you came out with like I'm just throwing a year out there, 8 years ago, right? And it finished up like with everything, like everything in it, and it was just great. Everyone loved that fucking game. They're still playing it to the day this new game releases, and then you release a new game, and it's missing everything else. Like half of the shit that you ended off with on the last game, that's a foul to me, right? So like, especially at launch, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm sure it will get to its glory at some point in time, but like, you know how I feel Halo. I felt like the same thing with some of these other games too. They come out rushed. Don't even get me started on Battlefield. They come out rushed and they throw something out there, and it's like, because they know people want it, but like it's not finished, and so like, and they give you this roadmap that I've never once in my entire life seen a roadmap that's been adhered to when it comes to gaming ever. And I can't think of one. Like they did it. They put out what they said they're going to put out, but not at the time frame they ever said it was going to come out. Like it never comes out when it's supposed to. So like, and I get like, like they'll be like, oh, this is year 1 content, but then year 1 content comes out year 1.5, and now you got to pay for it, or you got to download something or pay another, like an extra fee, when it would have come free in the beginning because it was part of the year 1 content. You're saying like, because they backed the date up, they got that pre-order from you, they got that extra DLC download from you, the extra $20 from you because you wanted the game early, you want that free 1 year, and then that 1 year comes and nothing's there. And even Halo, they had a roadmap in the beginning, right? Have they adhered to their roadmap so far?
Oh no, they had to change it, and I'm not sure
They
if
had to change it.
Yeah, they
Exactly.
haven't really
So like,
come out and kind of like really
it's
solidified
like
their roadmap.
it's like they make unrealistic goals, and then they get us hyped for those goals. Because I think I remember them saying like maybe like April or something, we're supposed to get like the co-op and the Forge or something like that. They pushed it back.
Co-op, and
Like
well, I was gonna say
don't give us a roadmap at launch. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a little bit, figure out what the bugs are, fix the game first, then give us a roadmap. How about we do that instead? But I mean, I'm on a tangent right now, but like, as far as what they've come out with, it's new, it's fresh, it's it'll get people back in the game that left for a little bit. But then what's next? How long will that last? That's what's my concern. It's like you said, it's 2 maps, a couple of game modes. How many game modes?
hold on, let me go
About
back.
6 or 7. That's quite a few.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game modes that will forever be in the menu options, and then
Yeah.
you got team snipers, team doubles, and team skirmish will be rotated in and out, kind of like on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis. I think
Why
more
do
or
they
less
do
it'd be
that?
weekly basis.
Why do they rotate them out? What if I like that mode and that's all I want to play?
Well, that's the whole point of it, because they want you to try to play every mode. Because if there's one, like let's say Fiesta, a lot of people like Fiesta and Slayer. You just have those modes. Then the other modes that people have made, the other developers have made, they won't even, they 9 times out of 10 won't give them an opportunity or a chance unless there's somebody that tells them that those modes are good. So that's why they rotate them the way that they do.
Well, you
so
know what
they can
else? You know what else, K
jump
Mega? These could
at.
be attached to free events, weekly events as well, where you get
Right.
specific gear.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
But again, and I'll say this too. Like K Mega said, the game's free to play. So I think like these little hiccups like this, I think we kind of like say, okay, fuck it, it's free to play. You know what I'm saying? So like we kind of like it's a free to play game, so like they can kind of fuck around a little bit with some stuff, because it's free. You know, and it's free. So like we're not gonna complain too much about free shit. Just maybe complain about the fact that like you told me this was coming, and then you told me never mind, we're gonna push it back later. That's like say, hey, you know, I'm gonna suck your dick, and they change their mind. Like I'm just playing with you. Like
just have the whole
I'm gonna jack you out
situation
today.
laid out
I'm just gonna
there.
rub your balls today. Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it's a tease, but I mean, we
said,
know
wow.
they're gonna fix it. It's just like look at it this way: there is nothing out right now, right? Like Elden Ring, most people have beaten that already, except for me and Xbot.
And me. I haven't been
And
yet.
you, and there's nothing out right now. There's no news. There's like this is the perfect time to drop that shit. Like right now. Like if they'd have stayed with their roadmap, this would have been fucking perfect. They'd have been like all that. Everybody would be playing that shit right now. It'd be like number 1 on Steam because there's nothing out right now. What was the last game that came out? Like pick a. It don't matter what system it was on. What's the last major game that came out?
Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo?
Gran Turismo 7, yeah.
That was like a month ago. Like we ain't even talking about that shit anymore. Horizon came out like a couple of weeks before that.
Nobody's talking about that shit anymore.
MLB came out, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
MLB.
this is like the perfect time. Like there's nothing going on right now. This is the time we be dropping shit, dropping that DLC, dropping news. You know, it's just a boring time right now. So like, I think with this, like again, it's like with every other DLC. It'll bring hype for a couple of weeks and then it'll die down again. But for you Halo fans out there that religiously play this game, because I don't anymore, like you guys will be happy for a couple of weeks until something else comes out and just hold you over for a little while. So maybe that Battlefield patch will come out this next month or so, make us all happy.
Yeah, I
Not
don't
happening.
I don't think Battlefield will take away from Halo.
No, it's not.
No, and
But for people like me that are bored, don't feel like playing fucking Halo, yes. You know what could come out right now? Forza DLC would be great right now.
Oh my goodness,
they're overdue,
dude.
Because that came out before Halo, right?
Yes, it did. Yes, it
and
did.
we haven't gotten any DLC for that either. Like I'm kind of jumping around topics here, but like this is the perfect time to be dropping this shit.
Part of me wants to see what they're doing with that DLC, but then another part of me is like, I wouldn't mind not hearing anything about that DLC and hearing that Forza Motorsport will be coming out this year. That's me personally. That's a me thing. I'm not speaking for the community or anything like that. I have been like from everything that I've seen, with what they're putting into Forza Motorsport, I cannot wait for that game, and I am hoping that game releases this year. So like, and I don't want like the first kind of like DLC for Forza Horizon to possibly push back Motorsport. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just hoping for Motorsport to come out when it comes to that. But one thing I want to say to Others Inc. I hear you about Halo Waypoint, and I hear you about 343 coming out with videos. They don't do it as consistently as Bungie does, and they're not even out there like putting this stuff out there. Like Bungie and everybody like at Bungie, they tweet out when they got new information. They encourage YouTubers to talk about their TWAB and all that good stuff. They literally make sure that the community knows all this information, and they don't just expect you to be like, oh well, you can go to Bungie.net and get all that information and check out the videos. No, they put it out there for people. You got to remember,
Well,
they do.
You got to understand too, because you still, even though you played Destiny more than I have, you're still a newbie to it because you didn't play the first one, and actually it was they had to learn a lesson too because
Yeah, but they
they
had
got a
nothing.
lot of
They had
flack.
nothing to look at before Destiny 1 came out either. Where when you look at 343, they have examples that they can see, and they can learn quicker than the people who kind of blaze the
Well,
trail
no,
first. Yeah, let's
well,
be
I mean,
real.
Well, y'all are arguing about this. I'm gonna log off. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So
Well, I do. I want to get
I
Dark.
stayed 30 minutes longer than I was supposed to. So
Yeah, you stayed a lot longer than what you said, bro. And
yeah.
I definitely appreciate that. So I don't know, Dark, you are a Halo player. I know this because I played Halo 5 with you, man. What do you think about the game modes over here? Like I'm interested in this last Spartan standing. Why are you
Fred.
cracking up?
Good, because Fred's just like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
I said I'm out. These outros are nothing. And then he posted later,
Oh,
bitches. So he's out.
He said, "Peace."
yeah.
So
But
Um,
what
go
do you
ahead.
think, Dark
Keep
man?
going.
Does this seem like something that's going to get you to get into Halo Infinite again? What's good here?
No, man. Honestly, I don't even care about the player anymore. I'm really more interested in seeing what they do with their single player content. Um, I'm really waiting for that. I know I'm gonna be waiting a while for that, but
I think there's going to
um,
be a little something in this the Lone Wolf. That's going to be a little
is there?
yeah,
There's
little
gonna be
snippet, I believe.
story elements to it, but they
Hmm.
rotate around your Spartan, your multiplayer Spartan, in the world of
Uh,
what's going on with
yeah. No,
Atriox
I
and
don't.
stuff.
I don't want that. I want Chief. Doing badass shit. That's all. I don't care about that. Um, yeah,
I know Spartan Ops was
I'm
really
more
good
excited.
in
I'm
Halo
more
4.
excited to see what I'm just more excited to see what they do with their single player content than anything that's multiplayer at this point. Um I mean I did like what I played of the multiplayer, but it's I don't know, man. I've been so out of playing multiplayer for so long that it's just I can't I don't know, I just I like playing my single player content over anything else and that's just, you know, how I feel.
Mr. Antisocial over here now. See what the
It's
console
not
war
that.
does to
It's just
people? You see what the console war does to people? Like I don't want to hang
man.
with
It's
anybody.
not it's not even that. It's just I just don't I have no interest in playing multiplayer, dude. I mean maybe eventually again I'll have interest in it, but right now I just have interest at all. Um
It's all right.
it's just
Multiplayer, it takes gamers with skill, so I understand.
Mm, 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 mm.
Honestly, that's not even the thing. Like I don't even care about that kind of shit. Um, that's not even something that I even care about. That if I suck or not. Um, I have no interest in it. Just it doesn't appeal to me anymore.
Aw, you're becoming an old man.
I am, dude. I'm telling you, man. I'm like shit, dude. I'm becoming a fucking old
You're an
man.
old soul. You're an old soul. That's
Uh,
what it is. You're like, yo, get off my
that's well,
lawn.
Well, well, that's why I said, if they ever decided like, hey, we're not making any more single player content for any games, I'd probably just, I wouldn't completely dip out of gaming, but I would just
Watch more
play.
movies. That's what you would do.
I, I would probably watch more movies, but I would also play you know some of my favorite old games, that I like playing. That's probably what I would do. Yeah, I wouldn't gravitate towards the new stuff if they just went completely multiplayer.
All right. All right, man. Well, I will say to the chat, I am excited for this new season. I feel that if they really invest and support Last Spartan Standing and they give you rewards for playing that mode, I feel like that can be that could be a really big mode. That can develop into something like absolutely incredible. And it's not them going full battle royale like, you know, some of my friends want um when it comes to the Halo multiplayer, but I think it would be a good balance between the competitive multiplayer that we know in Halo and battle royale elements that kind of blend into their own thing. And I'm interested to see what they're going to do about that. Now, again, May 3rd is when season 2 comes out, and I have a feeling we're going to hear more before then. But yeah, the season is called Lone Wolf. You know, new cosmetics, a bunch of game modes, 2 maps, and I will be there day one uh, to get in on this. And but other than that, guys, it is time to wind it down. I feel really weird because I did not work today. For people who don't know, I've been on vacation, and I do not work tomorrow either. So when we get off the show, I'm probably going to go back to Elden Ring and try to kill those demi-humans that kept kicking my ass. That's right. It is Elden Ring. Yeah, and I'm with it. I'm with it. But yo, huge shout out to the chat. You guys have been absolutely incredible. Good to see everybody here. I saw names like Troyski, of course. We had Doggy in the chat. Uh, uh, the regulars, everybody. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for supporting this show. We are live every Thursday at 8 p.m. And like a 40-year-old with a comb over, it is time to get those plugs in. And we're only plugging for 2 people tonight. That's right. Pred left. He said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." And I don't know what
Did.
happened to Crispy. I think Crispy might have gotten maybe kidnapped or something. Like, I don't know. Maybe he had to go grill a steak. I don't know what the deal was, but I will go and try to see if he is okay. But like I said, we got to get through the outros, and let's start. Let's start with the man who made the panel complete. We had everybody on tonight. Yo, Dark, it is always good to have you on, man. It is cool when you just kind of show up on Discord, like, hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, no, I want to talk about this shit. It's always good to have you on, and I think you might have scared Crispy away. He was like, yo, I don't know, this seems like a stronger, more confident Dark. I don't think I can deal with it. But
That's hard to do too, man. You know?
that is because he stands strong wherever he is, man. Even when he plays golf, he's like, nah, I meant to slice it that way. Just trust the process. But dude, what do you got for an intro, man? What's been going on? What are you doing? What are you getting into? What's the deal?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Anonymous. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation of the same name. Well, you can't really Xbox yet because I'm getting my Series X in the mail. So wait to hold on that. Okay, just hold on that until I'm on
Hold
online.
on. So you bought a Series X?
Well, what I did is dude, I always have a plan. Okay, always. All right. I sent my Series S to my nephew because my sister she can't afford that kind of stuff, and I love my nephew, so I wanted to give him something, and I sent my Series S to him, and I was all like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I know I'm gonna get a Series X, so send that to him. I looked online. I was like, oh shit, they have Series X's at Best Buy, so I got one. I'm just waiting for it to come in the mail. That's it.
Oh, dude, it's gonna change
And
your life.
I don't know if it's gonna change my life, but
The
I'm
only
getting
thing
prepared
the
for
only thing I'm gonna warn you about, man, it is definitely better graphically, but if you
Yeah.
compare it to your PlayStation, the only thing is the PlayStation, it multitasks better. It plays games and it can be your coffee table. Where the Series X, it's not big enough to be your coffee table, bro. I'm sorry.
Hey man, I love both consoles. Okay, I love them both, and I think I'm just preparing myself for Starfield and Stalker 2. I'm excited for Stalker 2 because I
Stalker
love
looks so
I
good.
love I love the Metro games, so I'm ecstatic to see what they do with Stalker 2. Hopefully, they have hopefully it's not too much Russian speaking in there, but we'll see. You know, I don't know. They might have a um uh English dubbed in there. I just don't like reading, man. Like, who fucking wants to read while they're playing a game? I
I
don't
read
ever
my
understand
anime.
that.
I don't do dub. I do sub on anime. So I read my
Well,
anime.
anime's different. Like movies, I can handle it. Like movies, TV, stuff like that, I can handle it. But on a video game, I'm like, no, nope, get it out of here. I don't want it. I'm done. Nope, I don't want it. But yeah, man,
That's the
I'm
reason
I'm
why.
excited.
It's the reason why I didn't play
Uh,
Outer Worlds, man. I tried it for a little while. It's like way too
yeah,
much reading, bro.
yeah, a lot
Oh,
of reading.
so good, so good.
But I promised K Mega that I was gonna say this, and I'm a man of my word. I was wrong about Elden Ring. I'm fucking loving it right now. I'm at Stormvale Castle, so I'm getting there. I know I have a long way to go, but I'm excited and I can't wait to play some more of it and jump in and see all the bosses and stuff. I don't know what it was, but that first time I played through it, I started playing through it. I think it was just because it wasn't on my console. I think I was just not in the mood at the time. I was just like so busy thinking about what I'm working on at that time. I think I was just like, whatever, I don't even give a fuck, kind of thing. But now that I've had time to sit down and play it and really, get a grasp on it, I'm really enjoying it now.
He said K Mega, you were right. That's what he said. Now
He
I know.
was.
I know K Mega's smiling right now. Either that or he's
I'm smiling because I'm playing. I'm still
playing
playing
that dead
Anthem,
ass
and
game. That's
we
what he's
get
playing.
we get it ain't dead because me and some people have been kicking at it.
Dude, what you don't realize is the people that are on your team are all people in the same house. Like they play the game like
And
every
well,
day.
we getting out because this is like my third time going through doing the
Dude, you
stronghold.
took their
So
grandmother's spot on the team. I just want to let
you
you
know
know
what,
that,
you know what, Grandma appreciates you keeping the service alive. We love you. We love you.
man. Well, dude,
We love you.
dude, all right. So you're gonna multitask again, bro, because I need that
Mhm.
outro. We need information about GRG and what's going on tomorrow. We need to know what's going on with YouTube and what's going on with streaming and stuff like that, man. You got to let us know.
Yeah, no, I'm just keeping it moving. Doing my thing, man. GRG tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Central, the Lord's time, and Eastern for all you people that are people of the night, street people.
Wow, did
And
you just call me a hooker?
Pacific,
You just call me a
Street
hooker?
people. I think he just
and
did. I think he called
and
you a hooker.
6 p.m.
Why
Pacific.
my
You know what I'm
bro?
saying? I mean, it's all good. But yeah, check us out. We'll have some fun. Just about
Yeah,
that
bot,
Deuce.
you hooker.
Yeah.
You
Slay.
talk to me
And
about me
anyway,
like that, bitch.
get a. I'll probably be streaming something with Don probably this weekend. I don't see myself going anywhere.
You guys should stream
Staying
Minecraft
home.
together.
No, that's
Oh man.
that's not gonna happen.
It's a great
And
game.
then of course, Fight Night Sunday, I will come. I'll be back. I started last week after going on a little hiatus, and last Sunday and got my ass beat with playing Street Fighter and just got walloped. So I am going to because I haven't been playing any fighters here in a while. So after all the crazy shit that's been going on, so I'll get back into it. And then we'll be playing Street Fighter again. So if anybody's interested and want to come and hang out with us, come on, do that. And then hopefully, probably by the end of next week, we'll probably start most likely, because I said by the end of this month, we'll start the new podcast. It's going to be wild, man. It's going to be RRP podcast, man. So you look forward for that. And yeah, after that, that's it, man. I'm just you'll catch me. You'll catch some Anthem gameplay on next podcast
Oh
next week.
no, really? You
Let's
serious? I mean,
go.
I'll put it up, but really, are you going to do that to these people?
I am going to do it to these
Yo,
people.
Dark. I want to let you know the reason why K Mega got his ass beat in Fight Night is because he became so magic dependent in Elden Ring
Oh
that
my
he forgot how to
God.
fight. He forgot how to put the hands up. Like,
Are you?
You
now
know
he's
what?
swaying.
Are you playing as Magic? Did you play as Magic in fucking Elden Ring?
Yeah. But
You
I also,
are a fucking noob, man. I swear to fucking God.
like I knew you were gonna say
You are
that,
such a fucking noob. Oh
but
my
to
God.
beat the Elden Beast, to beat the little fat puffed magic dragon bastard, I did. I went back to the roots and changed,
Wow.
used some of the tier and put got me that
Everything to
blood
magic.
sword. Yeah, no. I got all melee, and so I could beat that bastard. So yeah, because I was losing my mind. But see, my magic helped me beat the Scarlet
the goddess of the rot.
yeah, Goddess of the Rot. So
Yeah, I heard she is nasty, dude. I heard
she is very nasty.
she is really nasty. I can't wait to see her. I'm gonna try to give her a hug.
Mhm.
Yo, but on that
Oh,
note,
wow.
yo, again, shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We are here every Thursday, 8 p.m. And of course, even though Christy's not here, I will let you know that is prime time. Again, thank you so much for the support. If you haven't done it yet, yo, hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe. I have more content on the way. You guys are going to be very, very happy with this. And I will say that I will be streaming on this channel again as soon as I get this mic that I want. See, I want to get a clip-on microphone because the way I have my setup here when I stream, I have the party's voices all well and good, but I need OBS to capture my voice. And I used to stream with my my big ass like PC mic right in front of me, and I need room to play. So I'm gonna be getting one of those mics that you just clip onto your shirt, and you talk that way. And I will be streaming on this channel again as well. But you know, until next week, guys. I mean, we will see you next week for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody. Yeah, we don't even have Pred to do the
I know.
none of that
Yeah,
bullshit, man.
so I ain't doing that nasty shit.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to next podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.